guys, it's Kevin again, and welcome to the season finale for the movie previews of 2018. And as you guys can see, it is just me hosting this. There's not anyone with me at the moment, and you guys are probably confused because you know that usually, the plan is I bring everyone back. And while I am doing that this year, I decided to structure it a bit differently. This year is the most guests I have ever had within a movie preview, and there's 7 guests altogether throughout this episode. But the way that it's going to be done is instead of it being, this crazy thing where there's like 9 people all in one live stream, and to keep the show from running too long, I decided, honestly, I think it's going to run a lot smoother this way. You guys may notice that throughout the video, we're all wearing different shirts or we're looking differently. That's because we actually filmed this throughout the entire month. I really wanted this to be something that was really great, so I did it throughout the month. It's something that we're very proud of, and I'm very excited to get into this. There's a lot of stuff coming out this month, but before we do delve into everything, I do want to quickly introduce everyone, starting off with Auburn Wanderer.
Hey everyone, it's your Lord and Savior, Caden, Auburn Wanderer, LaPlante, and aka Mr. Fish. And I am here on the December movie preview. As always, I'm glad to be here. Time to talk about the movies. Thank you for always having me on, Kevin. I, of course, appreciate it. And, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming out this month. Oscar season's really, really starting to roll along. And, yeah, I'm happy to be here. So let's get into it, boy!
Next up is Film Fan 0599.
Well, I don't know if anything will top the Gotti appearance from last year, but hey everyone, Film Fan 0599 here again. And, I'm on the movie preview once again. Would you die? Oh,
Yes, I did.
but no, seriously. Thank you, Kevin, for having me on here for the December movie preview. I always appreciate you bringing me on for the movie previews. I actually care this time. I'm on a month where I actually care about shit.
I know, it's shocking.
I know, right? Isn't it a fucking miracle for once? All right, but no, seriously, I can't wait to talk about the movies that I'm excited for, so this should be fun.
And next up we have MC Deadpool.
My name is Ryan.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go to Jackson.
All right. Thank you once again, Kevin, for having me on for this. I'm very excited. I don't know if it'll be able to top last year's epic December movie preview, but I'm very excited, and I wanted to say one thing before we begin. I think it's very important that I say this. But there is a story here. Mandy is someone who was heavily involved in the cult and has since tried to stay away from her relationship with Red. Unfortunately, she's now pulled back into it, and the rest of the story is Red subsequently trying to avenge her son's capture, but also trying to understand what's happening even in his fiance's explanation. Thanks, Kevin, for that epic comment for Mandy.
Fuck you. I read your review on it. Okay? I thought it said that.
This time in my review, it was Ryan's that you misread.
Fine. I thought it said that he didn't understand.
Oh fuck! I just spilled lemonade.
And next up we have Andrew Hayes.
Hi, my name is Andrew Hayes, and I have a midterm in about 6 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Go the fuck to bed.
Wow, that's great. All right. And finally, we have none other than 22 Tiger Dude.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for bringing me on here to do the movie preview, talking about a couple of movies. And, good old Tony Claus is here to bring on the Christmas spirit. So thank you for bringing me on, man. Looking forward to doing this.
All right, guys, so now that all the introductions are out of the way, it is time to begin, so let's just get started with the first movie. So the first film we have here is one that only I am going to talk about because nobody else cares about, I guess, and that is on December 5th. There is a movie coming out called Terrell.
I really appreciate you having me.
No, man, a friend of Johnny's a friend of mine.
Oh, happy birthday, Pete.
Happy birthday!
So easy.
Nobody knows what that is.
Black accent.
You know what I mean? Come on.
You have to be more specific than that. No?
So, Terrell, overall, I'm going to be honest, I'm very conflicted with this film. Right off the bat, I love the cast. You know, Jason Mitchell, Christopher Abbott, Ann Dowd. You also have Michael Cera, I believe, is in there. Reggie Cathy in his final role, which is definitely going to be interesting to see. I thought Luke Cage was his final role, but I don't know if this is like his final role altogether, if it's just his final movie role, but regardless, that's definitely a good reason to check out this film. Aside from that, though, and what I'm really getting from this film is it's very much a message movie. It's a film that is very much in your face. It reminds me of a film that I saw a couple months ago that got like a lot of acclaim called Assassination Nation. I haven't reviewed that film yet, but I'll just say right now I don't really like the one. The reason I don't like it is the same reason why I'm not liking this trailer. It feels very in your face. It feels very preachy, and it feels like it's one of those films where it is forcing this message upon you. I mean, hell, the town is literally called Whitesville. I get it. He's the only black kid, you know, he's the only black kid in this town. He's the only black kid that's going on this, you know, like road trip or whatever, and he feels very uneasy about it. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. Get Out is the way to do it. This film seems like it's not really the way to do it. I feel like this is going to be one of those films that has some really great performances, but has a story that just isn't very interesting and feels very been there, done that, and hopefully it surprises me. There's definitely been a lot of films this year that have surprised me, and I would love for Tyrell to be one of them, but I just don't really know that's going to be. Also, I don't really get the whole, they call him Tyrell, but like his name is Tyler. I don't really understand that. I mean, I guess they're trying to say that like, are they trying to say that like because he's black, like his name would be Tyrell, but like he can't be, I didn't really understand that at all, but either way, I don't really know how this is going to go, but if you guys are looking forward to Tyrell, it does come out on December 5th. I believe it's going to be on VOD as well. Hopefully it's good, but we'll just have to see. And the next film we're going to talk about comes on December 7th, and that is the highly anticipated Mary, Queen of Scots.
Queen Elizabeth, your cousin Mary has returned to take up her throne in Scotland.
The Queen!
My dear cousin Elizabeth, I hope we might meet in person, that I might embrace you. But ruling side by side, we must do so in harmony, not through a treaty drafted by men lesser than ourselves.
My dear cousin, let our nations cherish each other as we would, two kingdoms united.
How did the world come to this?
Wise men servicing the whims of women.
So, Mary, Queen of Scots overall, I am obviously very excited for this film. I mean, especially given the talent involved, Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie. Right off the bat, that's a recipe for success. I mean, those two gave some of the best performances of last year. Seeing them in a movie together is just incredible. I mean, I still can't believe that we're going to be able to see both of them in a movie together, and they both look really great. I think Robbie's probably going to be the show stealer, but I think Ronan, as usual, she always gives a great performance in basically everything she does. I really have not seen anything with Saoirse Ronan that I don't like her in. Oh, you also have David Tennant here, Guy Pearce, Jack Lowden, really great cast overall. The story itself is not necessarily one that I'm like massively intrigued by, but I do think it does look really good. I think the costumes here look really good, especially. I will say, out of the two period dramas involving royalty, I do think The Favorite looks a lot more intriguing. I'm much more interested in that one, but I'm still not discounting this film. This is still a film that I am very much looking forward to. I'm hoping it's really good. I've heard really good things about it, and I'm hoping it doesn't disappoint. So, Mary, Queen of Scots, you know, I'm not over the moon about it like I was when I first heard about it. Like, when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, slam dunk. That's going to be one of the best movies of the year. And now the trailers come out, it looks solid. It does. It looks solid. I don't think it looks like an amazing movie, but given the talent involved, that's what has me really excited, and I'm hoping the film does deliver on that front. Maybe, hopefully, it gives me a really great story as well. But if you are looking forward to Mary, Queen of Scots, it does come out on December 7th. Hopefully, it's a very good film. So also on December 7th, we have another film that I am very much excited for, and I'm actually not alone for this one. Your favorite and mine, Auburn Wanderer, is going to join us for this film, and that, of course, is Vox Lux.
It's a weird world we live in, and the way I've chosen to live my life, please don't follow me, goes against some people's views on things.
do you mind if I get a quick picture with you?
Mom, I'm worried about you.
You're worried about me?
Vox Lux is a film that I am actually really looking forward to. This is one, of course, with it's kind of like one of those where it's following the life of this pop star, but it also is going back to how she became this pop star in 1999 with this school shooting and whatnot. Natalie Portman, of course, is here. The cast is very much stacked, and like I said, this is one of those films where I really did not know too much about it a couple months ago. But after watching this trailer, I really regret not putting this on my most anticipated list because this really does look fantastic. Natalie Portman looks like she's going to give a phenomenal performance here, as always. Raffi Cassidy, great to see that she's popping up in something else. Loved her in Killing of a Sacred Deer last year, and she looks really great here as well. I believe who else is let's see, Stacey Martin is in here. She's always really great. Jude Law, William Dafoe. I mean, really great cast overall. But like I said, the plot of this does actually look really interesting. And from what I'm hearing, this is very similar to A Star is Born, but it is kind of looking at fame in a completely different way than that film did, and that really does have me intrigued. I don't know a ton about it in terms of how they portray the music business and things like that, but that's something I'm very much interested in getting into here. There's a lot of potential for this film. I'm already hearing Oscar buzz and things like that on Natalie Portman's side of things, so we'll see how this one really does go. But from what I'm seeing here, I am really excited, and I really hope it doesn't look me down because this definitely, for me, is one of the most anticipated of the entire month for sure.
Yes, I had no idea about this film until probably like the beginning of September. And once I found out about it, I was extremely excited, and I still am.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman is a fantastic actress. And so that's the first thing I heard about it. And then I read what it was about, and it sounds, when I read the plot, it did remind me of A Star is Born, but it does sound different than A Star is Born.
Yeah.
And it's going to go over, I think it's 19 years.
From what I understand, I think the first half of it is her childhood, which is Raffi Cassidy, and then you see Raffi Cassidy again, but as her daughter.
Oh, okay. So, it just sounds very interesting. And it, I think the idea of fame and music and industry and how that all turns out could change your life and it's an interesting topic. So I hopefully explores it well, and then it just sounds very interesting. And also, this is a huge bias thing. Excuse me. But I mean, come on, William Dafoe is my favorite actor, and he's in this. So I mean, a little bit of bias there.
He also is narrating it.
Oh shit! Really? Okay. Well, I'm very excited now. So that sounds like it's pretty good. And so I'm really excited for this. I've heard some great things. There's a lot of hype behind it, and hopefully it's a very complex and riveting film that explores its themes well and has some great acting and stuff. So boy.
So if you guys are looking forward to Vox Lux, it does come out on December 7th, along with Mary Queen of Scots and a couple others I mentioned. I do believe it. I think it's going to go wide on December 14th. I'm not entirely sure about that, but definitely excited to check that one out. But then also coming out on December 7th, we have another film that I'm very interested in, and that, of course, is Ben is Back.
Did you see? He's gained some weight, and he's got the sparkle back in his eyes. He's clearly doing better.
Yeah, then why are you hiding everything?
We said we weren't going to do this again, remember?
I agree. And if it weren't Christmas, you get a day. This time tomorrow, you are back in sober living.
Yeah, okay.
You do not leave my sight ever. Because for the next 24 hours, you are mine, all mine. Got it?
I got it.
Hey, Burns! I thought you were dead.
So Ben is Back. This is another one that I kind of wish I didn't watch the trailer for, because the teaser trailer for this is one of my favorites of the entire year. It is able to do so much in such a small increment of time. The teaser trailer itself, it's just Julia Roberts and Catherine Newton and the whole family, they're in a car and they're seeing Ben, and you see that Catherine Newton doesn't want Julia Roberts to go up to him. So immediately you're intrigued. You're what's really going on with this guy? And that trailer alone, if they just released that trailer, this would easily be one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year. but then they released that full trailer, and while I am still interested, this to me just looks like the lesser version of Beautiful Boy. And look, I understand there's a lot of movies coming out this year that have very similar themes and very similar plots, but this very much seems like the more conventional Beautiful Boy. And look, I love Julia Roberts. I love that she really is starting to make a resurgence here. You know, I started watching Homecoming, and she's fantastic in that. Lucas Hedges is one of the best young actors out there right now. Catherine Newton, I adore. Courtney B. Vance is really great, but just this film overall, similar to Mary Queen of Scots, it just looks solid. It doesn't look amazing. It does look really good, though. I think this is a film that is going to handle the subject of addiction. I think it's going to look at it from a different lens, though. Hopefully that's what it is. I'm hoping this film, it's able to do something with addiction that Beautiful Boy wasn't able to do. And that's something that a lot of these similar racism films have been able to do this year. They've all kind of covered various aspects, and I'm hoping that Ben is Back can be like that, but in the sense with alcohol, and I'm hoping that does, or drugs or whatever, and I hope that really does happen here. There definitely is a lot of potential. It does look a little Oscar baity, admittedly. Like, it's a film that very much, I think, is coming out when it is to get Julia Roberts and Lucas Hedges Oscar nominations, and I don't think they're going to get it. I think they're probably going to be shut out, honestly. But regardless of that, I do still think this looks like a solid film. I'm hoping that it really does deliver. I really wish I didn't watch that full trailer, though, which I wasn't going to, but they played it when I saw it mid-90s, and there was no other way for me to, you know, to avoid it, and it still looks good. I'm just not nearly as excited as I was when that teaser came out, but either way, if you're excited for Ben is Back, it does come out on December 7th. So once again, as you guys know, one of the biggest things that I have been very hung up this year is Netflix, but they have really been making a comeback lately. And because of that, we're not just talking about one, we're not just talking about two. There are 3 Netflix films we're going to be talking about within this video. And the first one, Auburn Wanderer, is going to come back along with my good buddy Film Fan 0599 to talk about the next movie. And that, of course, is Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
Kira, why am I different?
You are special, little brother.
You've got hands, so let's use them. Jump! Yes!
Out of my way! I shouldn't let them pick on me like that. Wolves are supposed to be with other wolves.
He's not a wolf.
I've seen the way you look at the village. Mowgli, you are one of them.
So Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, I was actually very excited when I first heard about this film was coming out. You know, Andy Serkis has been talking for a while about this, you know, biopic that he has, in fact, been doing. And biopic, what am I saying? Okay.
I was about to say, the fuck you talking about? Biopic.
Yes,
This is about a real boy named fucking Mowgli.
Yes, there is a real boy named Mowgli. That is a conspiracy theory. It's all a biopic. But anyway, okay. So Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, this, of course, is the Andy Serkis version of The Jungle Book, and I'm actually really looking forward to this film. I remember for a while, even when the Disney film was coming out, this one was still being announced, and I was always more interested in this one. It's not that I wasn't excited for the Disney one, but I was more excited for this one because I heard Serkis say that he was going to take a completely different direction with this and kind of go into uncharted territory, and I was really excited to see what he was going to do here. And from the looks of this trailer, yeah, that's very much what this looks like. It definitely is a shame that this did come to Netflix because I wish I could have seen this in theaters, but this does look really great. I'm very excited to see what he does end up doing here. You know, nothing really that much to talk about, but like I said, it does look like a very starkly different film than what we've seen before. The cast here is stacked. Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch, so many great actors here. Of course, Andy Serkis himself as Baloo. Very excited to see how that turns out. Just everything about this, it really seems like the passion is there. It seems like this is something that he really does care about, and I'm very excited to see how this one does turn out. Definitely looking forward to watching this on Netflix, and I hope it doesn't disappoint. The fact that Netflix, you know, they're putting it out as early as they are, and that it is in select theaters, that tells me that they do have some confidence in it. So I'm hoping that it going to Netflix is not a reflection on the film's overall quality and just as simply that it was at an inconvenient time and they had to drop the distributor. I'm hoping that's what it is, but we'll have to see.
I am excited for this film. I've been excited about it for a very long time. I think that it looks really good. I think that Andy Serkis is a creative genius. I think that he takes risks and he's very bold with the way that he, acts. And, this is his directorial debut. So I'm very interested in seeing how this is. And it looks very bold. Like his other work has done, like acting wise and stuff.
Yep.
And it looks visually very cool, to be honest. This is going to be a darker, version of, the tale of, Mowgli and, the Jungle Book and stuff. And that's something that really fascinates me because everyone's famous, the Disney version of the Jungle Book. And yes, it is dark at points, but it isn't like as, dark as this is going to be, obviously. It's a great story. I'm very disappointed that this did not come to theaters in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think this would have been a great film to see theaters. It is still coming to theaters, but select theaters.
Yeah.
It's also disappointing because I know Andy Serkis, the reason why this film took a while to come out is because he wanted people to see it in 3D, and that's not going to happen anymore, probably. So that's disappointing because this would be a film I would go see in 3D. Because the visuals just look like it would be good in 3D. So, but I'm so excited for it because also the cast. The cast is fantastic. This film is stacked with people who have passion for what they do, and it looks like it's showing. And yes, so I'm very excited for this. Hopefully it does not disappoint. So yes, that is why I'm looking forward to Mowgli, now called Legend of the Jungle.
Yes.
I guess it's my turn now. So, I'm looking forward to this too. Andy Serkis is one of my favorite figures in Hollywood right now. This guy is like Kayan said, a creative genius. He, and this is his directorial debut. So I'm very interested to see what he'll bring to a directing standpoint. And I do like that this is a much more mature version of the Jungle Book. That has me very intrigued, and the trailers really did have some intrigue to them. I did like what I saw. This movie has a packed cast. Christian Bale, Cate Blanchett, Andy Serkis himself is in it. So I am very interested to see where that goes. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it honestly has some real potential to be a really good take on the classic Jungle Book story. And and the fact that I am a little bit disappointed that it is not coming to theaters worldwide. I know it's still coming to select theaters, but I'm still interested nonetheless. I still hope it could be really good because this does have some really good potential to be really great, to be honest.
So if you guys are looking forward to Mowgli Legend of the Jungle, it does come out on December 7th. I believe it's going to be in select theaters. I think it already was in select theaters this week, actually. So hopefully you got to see it. Definitely one that I kind of wish I got to see in theaters, as I said, but one that I definitely am very excited for. And that's really everything coming out on December 7th. Mowgli Legend of the Jungle, Ben is back, Vox Lux, Mary Queen of Scots. But now we go into December 14th, which really is the first big week. We kind of have a slow rollout in December, which we usually do, but I think it's even slower this year than it usually is. But December 14th is really when things kick off into high gear with one of the most anticipated films of the entire month, and got a full house for this one. Auburn Wanderer is back, as well as Film Fan 0599, but also joining us for this one is the legend himself, MC Deadpool, to talk about one of the most anticipated of the month, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
All right, kid, listen up. This fry is your universe. It's soggy, it's weird, it's gross. And this delicious normal fry is my universe. So you want to learn to be Spider-Man. Can you teach me? Yes, I can. Time to swing. Good, you're doing it. Double tap to release and whip it out again. Okay. Whip and release. You're a natural. Whip.
Hey guys.
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy. I'm from another dimension.
How many more spider people are there?
Hey, fellas.
Hello.
This could literally not get any weirder.
It can get weirder.
Okay.
so Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, I am so hyped for this movie. I mean, just from the animation alone to the premise here, there are so many possibilities for what they could really do here. Sure, this isn't following the Marvel story, but I honestly don't have a problem with that. I've heard a lot of people say the Miles Morales story is even more interesting than Peter Parker and things like that, so I'm interested in seeing how they tap into that. But also all the other Spider-Mans, like, say, Spider-Ham, Spider-Noir, very interested in seeing how Nick Cage does in that. Of course, there's the, some of the other Spider-Mans, Gwen Stacy, there you go. There's the anime one whose name I'm blanking on right now. But there are so many possibilities with this film, and I really hope they do utilize them. The cast here is so stacked. I really do love pretty much everyone here, from Mahershala Ali to, of course, Nick Cage, John Mulaney. You also have Haley Steinfeld. I mean, just a really incredible cast here overall. Sure, this is Sony, but it is Phil Lord and Chris Miller that are directing it, and I have a lot of confidence in them. I know that they can definitely churn out a really clever and witty film. I'm definitely getting sort of like a Lego movie vibe from this trailer. Just the scene at the end alone where it's all of them crawling on the wall and they're like, that way, other way, other way. I mean, just that alone looks so much fun. I can't wait to see how all of these various incarnations of Spider-Man blend together. I can't wait to see their interactions and everything. I think their sort of rapport is probably going to be one of the strongest parts of this movie, and I'm just really excited to see how it plays off. Also, I will say, Jake Johnson looks like a fantastic Peter Parker. I love that this is the Tobey Maguire version of that character, and I can't wait to see the way that turns out as well. This film just has me so excited. This is the definition of what I want, just in a really fun comic book movie, and I really hope it doesn't disappoint. Definitely one of my most anticipated of the month for sure.
So I'm I guess you could say I'm looking forward to this film. To be honest, though, there's a lot of things that are concerning me about it. One, it does not look funny, like, at all, and it seems like they are trying to utilize, comedic, stuff in here, and it just doesn't look like it's really working. Also, I like how it's trying to look like a comic book, but it's a bit distracting, to be honest. It kind of takes me out. I've seen the trailers, actually, surprisingly, for once, and I did see the full clip, seeing whatever you want to call it, at the end of Venom, and I saw that in IMAX. I know it's not going to be an IMAX, but, like, still, it was just... It just kind of throws me off. It's a good idea. It just looks like the execution of it is a little bit displeasing to me. Also, as much as I'm excited that we're finally getting a film that does surround around Miles Davis and
Miles Morales.
Miles Davis. Jesus
Who's
Christ.
Miles Davis?
That's as bad as me saying Louis Armstrong.
It is Miles Morales.
Sorry, I've been listening to Miles Davis too much recently.
Oh my god.
Miles, I literally, when I was going through my notes a second ago, I literally wrote Miles Davis. Anyways, okay, Miles Morales. Okay, so yeah, I think that he's a fantastic character, so I'm really happy that he's going to finally get, some spotlight in a feature film. And is it confirmed that the older Peter Parker is the Tobey Maguire version?
Yeah, they've confirmed this.
All right, that definitely is cool. Yeah, and speaking of all the characters, it looks like this film was very, very creative, though. We really have not seen a comic book or animated film like this before, to be honest. And it looks really, really cool. It looks like it's really going to be out there. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, too. I'm just hoping that the story is there, and all the other pieces fall into place, because if not, to be honest, this one's going to kind of be a bit of a throwaway. But hopefully it doesn't be that. It's kind of just a mixed bag, but I am looking forward to that because obviously I love the character of Spider-Man, and there's stuff going for it. So hopefully it turns out good.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Peter Parker himself. So, as you could tell, I am very excited for this movie. This is definitely up there as like one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. I believe this is my most anticipated movie for the whole month, I think.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why.
Well, obviously. I'm about to say, I love the character of Spider-Man.
I mean, you are Spider-Man.
He is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. And the fact that we are going to get multiple Spider-Mans in this and not just one. And the main focus is Miles Morales, which I'm glad that, he's getting his own movie because he is an interesting character. And I'm excited to see his interactions with Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham as well seems really funny from like the stuff I've seen in the trailer with him. And what I love about this too, it seems like that they're trying to go for an actual comic book vibe with it, like actually bringing like comic book imagery to life with this. I quite like that a lot. When I saw that in the first trailer, I was like, this looks cool. I can't wait to see how this is presented in the big screen. And the animation looks fantastic. I really love how this looks so far. And hopefully this is really great. And I really do, even though it's Sony Animations, they have made some good things in the past, like the Hotel Transylvania movies. So hopefully this is another good one in their direction. So yeah, I hope that this is really good because I am really looking forward to it a lot.
Like everybody else, I love Spider-Man. I love the character. He's like one of my favorite characters ever. I love the first Sam Raimi movie. The second one's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm one of the few people that likes the third one. Sorry. Amazing Spider-Man is okay despite what Frankie Muniz here thinks of it.
No.
It's an okay movie, Kevin, alright? However, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a fucking abomination against humanity that should burn in the fiery pits of hell along with my ass. Shit. And I love Spider-Man Homecoming, and when I saw the trailer for this and it was focusing on Miles Morales, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And the movie looks beautiful, it looks fun. I love that the Peter Parker in this movie is the Tobey Maguire version. It would be cool to see Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
Nicolas Cage he's already a god amongst men in general, so him as Spider Noir is something I'm really looking forward to. And Spider-Ham, that's what's his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
My boy.
Looks like he's gonna steal a fucking movie. And I love how this movie actually does look like a comic, and like it just flows so well with the animation, and the movie looks beautiful. So yeah, it's one of my most anticipated movies of this month. So I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, they can bring Sony Animations back on track because recently they've been dropping the ball. I haven't seen Hotel Transylvania 3 yet, but like recently they've just been like. So hopefully this is great.
So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, if you are looking forward to it, does come out on December 14th. I'm sure it is going to be one of the biggest films of the month for sure. So the next film we're going to talk about also on December 14th is one that I'm a little bit different on than, we're kind of switching gears a little bit with this next film. And MC Deadpool is joining me back for this one, but we also have Jackson Fulcher and Andrew Hayes to talk about a film that I'm sure everyone is so hyped for. And that, of course, is Mortal Engines.
The world is changing. Nothing can stand in the face of this. We are London.
Hester! Hurry! Get on!
Alright, so Mortal Engines, this is a film that, it's coming out, and I really don't give a shit about this movie. I mean, this just looks so generic. It looks so by the numbers. It's a film we've gotten a million times before, and it reminds me of something like The Darkest Minds or something like that, where it's trying to go back to those, young adult type adaptations, which are just not really, there's not really a market for them anymore. It's been proven that nobody really wants those kind of movies anymore. I'm pretty sure this is going to be, a huge flop. I really don't think anyone cares about this movie whatsoever. I mean, you know, we'll see. I mean, there is Hugo Weaving, but that's kind of it. I love how they market that, like, Peter Jackson is, like, affiliated with it when he's not even the director. I believe he's, like, only producing it, which I think is pretty funny. So, like, yeah, Peter Jackson's not involved with this. So if you fell for that, you don't even get excited because he literally has nothing to do with this. They're just kind of saying that because they know there's nothing else that this movie has to offer. The visuals don't look good. Just the story overall looks very by the numbers. Every time this trailer plays, it bores the fuck out of me. This just looks really bad overall, and I really am not looking forward. There's a lot of great stuff coming out this week, but this is definitely, out of all the ones, despite another movie we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on, this is easily one of my most anticipated of the entire month for sure. All right.
Yeah, this looks really terrible. This is probably my least anticipated movie of the entire month, to be honest. This just looks bad. Like, the original teaser trailer I thought was actually kind of intriguing. I kind of liked that teaser trailer. But once that trailer, once Comic-Con, I think, came around, it made this look really bad. The visual effects look absolutely god-awful.
Oh, yeah.
This just looks like another generic kind of adult adaptation. It just seems like kind of an almost Mad Max kind of ripoff in a way. It kind of seems like it's something. I know this is based on a book, but like just kind of the feel of it kind of gives me that vibe. It just kind of looks like it's kind of cashing in on that. But like, it just doesn't seem interesting. The characters look bland as hell, to be honest. Hugo Weaving doesn't even seem like he needs to be there, to be honest. Like, it looks really bad, and I am not looking forward to it in the slightest, to be honest. I think, honestly, this really is, out of all the movies that are coming out this month, I think this is the one I'm looking forward to the least. And, yeah, it's going to be, hopefully it's good. I, of course, always have to go in with the best mind with movies, but everything that's been like leading up to it has not been the best. So, yeah, don't have much expectations going into it.
All right, Gary.
It's me?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're now in this more than
okay.
So it goes by who has the most screen time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this movie looks like shit. Yeah, sure. Peter Jackson is producing it. Is he?
Yeah, he's not even directing it.
I think he's writing it, though.
What?
I think he wrote it, though.
Let me check real quick.
I'll do
No, he's just producing it.
Oh.
No, he didn't even write it.
I mean, like, even with Peter Jackson's
it says on IMDb.
Oh, wait, no, he's one of 3 writers.
Yeah, Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens, who also helped him on Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and basically everything he's ever done. So yeah, he's writing it, asshole. Piece of shit trying to say I'm wrong? Who the fuck are you? Piece of shit. I should host this show. Kevin out. I'm hosting it now.
But anyway, yeah, even with Peter Jackson's involvement, that still doesn't get me excited. When I saw the trailer, I just like, okay, I almost thought, for a minute, I almost thought there was like a live-action Howl's Moving Castle, that anime movie by Studio Ghibli, and when it said like more, it was like, okay, like the trailer didn't really impress me. The acting looks fine. Visual effects look fucking awful. It's just nothing really is making me have my interest in seeing it. It's like I bet even if I do see it, I bet after that I probably might forget about it after I saw it. So I see, but yeah, it does not look good at all. I mean, hopefully it is, but it just looks very poopy.
Let's go.
All right, Jackson.
So yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat as Ryan was. I saw the teaser and I thought, yeah, okay, it's not perfect. Some visuals can be touched up on, but it seems like an interesting teaser. Like it'll lead to something maybe kind of cool. Peter Jackson making another book series into a movie. Maybe it can work. But then as soon as they released more footage, I was like, oh, fuck me. This looks awful. A lot of the act paint by numbers, a lot of them seem very bland to me. Hugo Weaving, I don't know what he's doing here. He delivered a really fantastic performance with Hacksaw Ridge. I don't think I've seen him in anything else since, but this definitely looks like a huge
Patrick Melrose,
step down.
that was a great one from him.
The what?
Patrick Melrose, that it was a mini series on Showtime. They do Benedict Cumberbatch. That one is very much recommended.
So would you say this still looks like a step down for him as far as performance, though?
Absolutely, yeah. Like to see him go through like an Emmy Award winning, seems like an Emmy Award nominated performance to then this. It's like, what the fuck?
Right. So it's like basically it's just because his friendship with Peter Jackson, pretty much, because he's been in a lot of his other projects. So he just doesn't seem really that into it. The visual effects look terrible. Like, oh my god! I watched like one of the trailers. I saw this trailer multiple times in theaters, but one of them was in 3D. I hated it. Like I really did not like. I don't know if that's how it's gonna look once it's released in 3D, but from that trailer, it looks awful. Like, God, man, this doesn't seem like it has any real like great direction going on with it at all. Like it just seems like, well, we have Peter Jackson's visual effects, so it should be good, right? Not really. Like it doesn't look that good. It kind of it reminds me of The Hobbit, where some visual effects work, but a lot of them just aren't that good. I think Peter Jackson really had, even if he is just producing and writing this one, I think he's really been stepping down as far as like the quality of his movies go, because Lord of the Rings is like one of my favorite trilogies ever, and to see him just kind of fall from grace is like, oh god, dude. I wish you kept that same magic as a director that I recognize from those three, but just like creatively, it just doesn't seem like your heart's in it anymore. I'm bummed to say that this is my least anticipated film for all of December. It looks terrible. Like just because it has action scenes doesn't mean I'm looking forward to it. It looks awful.
All right, Andrew.
In the great words of my boy Christian George Harloff, this movie looks like garbage.
Did you say that about Widows as well?
What?
Did you say that about Widows as well?
Listen, we're not here to talk about Widows. We're here to talk about Mortal Engines.
Well, but Andrew, what about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Did you say that about
again? We're here to talk about Mortal Engines and Mortal Engines only. This movie looks like shit. I legit have been dreading this movie since I first saw it. I saw it and I immediately knew this is going to be like one of those movies that is going to easily be like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I would legitimately be surprised if it got anything higher than like 23%. And it sucks because I really like Hugo Weaving. I really haven't seen him in anything since Hacksaw Ridge. And the CGI looks awful. This just looks like Kevin. I agree with you. Like with The Darkest Minds, like I feel like the young adult kind of craze has come and gone.
Oh yeah, that's gone.
It's been at least
it's honestly like deader than gone.
Yeah, okay, 2015 was I guess the real the last real year you could have made these movies.
And I'd probably say like 2016 because of there was still like Ascent. What the fuck was it called? Not Allegiant. There you go.
Okay, I mean, forgive me for not remembering that movie.
I don't blame you. It's pretty bad.
But that was 2 years ago, and we're still attempting to make these movies, and there's just no need for them. I'd rather have Peter Jackson waste his time and energy on something that could actually be good instead of something like this.
So if you are of the few that are looking forward to Mortal Engines, it does come out on December 14th, along with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And next up, we have another film that I am definitely very excited for. Joining back for this one is Auburn Wanderer, Film Fan 0599, MC Deadpool, and Jackson Fulcher to talk about this next one. And that, of course, is The Mule.
Family's the most important thing.
Don't do what I did. I put work in front of family. I thought it was more important to be somebody out there than the damn failure I was in my own home. I was a terrible father. Terrible husband. Blew my chance.
So the Mule overall, I am very interested in this movie. You know, when it was first announced, it was kind of like, what the hell is this? It just kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. But then the trailer came out, and I have to be honest, I'm really interested in this now. This looks like a very intense and very edge of your seat type film. And it's one of those trailers where every time it plays, I always get this sense of tension. I always feel that suspense. And sure, this is a story that has been told before. You know, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But the thing that looks so great about The Mule is it does very much seem like this is going to be maybe Clint Eastwood's like last performance that he gives, kind of like his swan song. It very much does feel that way here, and I'm very interested in seeing how it does turn out. We got a really great cast between him, Bradley Cooper, Michael Pena, also Andy Garcia's in there, Jennifer L. Really fantastic cast overall. I love how little the trailer is showing us. I feel like there's a lot that we still don't know. I'm very intrigued to see how the story is. You know, why does he end up, becoming affiliated with these like drug dealers? You know, what really ends up happening there? What really happens to him? I'm just very interested in getting into the story. I think this could be a really great film overall, and I'm hoping that it makes up for some of the other films that Clint Eastwood has been doing recently, and I'm hoping that The Mule turns out to be a really good film. So I'm definitely very excited for this one.
Okay, so I haven't seen many Clint Eastwood films, but the ones I've seen are mostly from this decade. And the ones that I've seen, like Jersey Boys and American Sniper, like the most like prominent ones, not too crazy about them, especially American Sniper, which is probably one of the most overrated films ever made, in my opinion. Besides that, Clint Eastwood obviously has established himself as a legend, so just that fact alone, you got to be somewhat excited. The fact that he's going to be acting again, he's a great actor. So, when I heard about this film, I was excited for it. Then I saw the trailer, and to be honest, I think it looks good. But I know a lot of people are going to think this is annoying, but I'm sorry. This film, I hate to say it, but it really reminds me of Breaking Bad, and I don't think that's a good thing. Because the whole time, I feel like the film is going to be exactly how Breaking Bad ended up going. I'm not going to spoil how Breaking Bad ends, but I feel like this how this film is basically going to be. And it's reminding me a lot of it. And it just looks very like mundane. And it just like, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be like a story that's going to really interest me, because it's already been done better, basically. I'm not trying to like assume that the whole movie will be like that, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that it's good, because Clint Eastwood recently has been disappointing. But you know what? Besides that, I'll probably watch this movie when it comes on to streaming, to be honest. It's not something I'm going to go see in theaters, but hopefully it's good. But I'm not really looking forward to it per se, but I'm just hoping for the best too.
Just quickly piggybacking off of what you said, it actually is based off a true story of this guy named Leo Sharp, who's like this World War II veteran. So I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure the story is going to play out a little bit differently. But I do understand that concern.
Wait, it's based on a true story?
Yeah. The guy's name was Leo.
If it says that in the trailer, I guess I just never noticed.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think it does, but yeah, it's the guy himself. They changed the name, but it's based on a true story.
Well, knowing that, hopefully it does the story justice. Yeah.
Wait, so is Breaking Bad ripping off this guy?
Maybe.
Yeah. Whoa! Jackson with the theory of the century.
Yeah, no. This is an outrage, guys. One of the greatest shows ever that I've only seen 3 episodes of is ripping off a Clint Eastwood movie from 20.
What the fuck, Kevin?
You fucking asshole!
I've literally only seen the first 2 and the last one.
Oh my god!
Would you know?
What?
Hey, guys, let's just get to Jackson before we all.
No, we go to me.
This movie looks really good, honestly. I like the I will admit I didn't really know about the movie too much until I saw the trailer for it, and I thought it looked pretty good. Honestly, it looks kind of intense. I'm interested to see what Clint Eastwood has to offer with this. Clint Eastwood is both a great actor and a great director, in my opinion. He does have his missteps here and there with his directing, but he has offered up a lot of good things, and hopefully this is another one of those. And I don't know, like maybe like Kevin said, maybe this is like a last hoorah with like maybe his acting and stuff. But if so, maybe it's a last good hoorah. But hopefully it's really good. It does show a lot of promise from the trailers.
Clint Eastwood, I haven't seen all of his movies. For the ones I've seen, he's kind of a mixed bag as a director. He's a legend as an actor, but as a director, like he has some goods, like $1 Million Baby and Unforgiven, and and I like American Sniper. Sorry, and also he has some duds like Jersey Boys, and I haven't seen 15/17 to Paris, but I hear it's not that good.
No, it's great, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut the fuck up, Kevin.
Bunch of unknowns, and
great actors in that film. Great actors.
I love the Skype scene. That was great.
Anyways, but yeah, the movie. Yeah, when I haven't heard about this movie. I heard it once on like Collider Movie Talk, but I don't know that much about the movie until I saw the trailer. And watching the trailer, I was like, yeah, this might be Clint Eastwood's best movie since, I don't know, $1 Million Baby.
Torino.
Oh, fuck! I saw that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be that. Yeah, it looks really good. Clint Eastwood looks great. The rest of the cast looks like they're gonna do a good job. Bradley Cooper. My Lord and Savior and the God of all stories, Mr. Michael Pena. Yeah, sure. When I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, I kind of get what Caden was saying, where he said that it kind of reminded him of Breaking Bad. And I honestly like him. I didn't realize it was a true story. I might have missed that when I watched the trailer. But even with that, like, I'm still interested to see how this movie's gonna turn out. Maybe like what you guys said, who knows? Maybe it might be just another misfire for Clint Eastwood. But no, it looks really good. So I'm honestly looking forward to it.
Yeah, had an interesting history with this one. Just all of a sudden, it was a topic on the Jack podcast, me, Adam, and Kevin's podcast.
Hey, let's go.
It was just like the news that it was just coming out randomly. Like it was just announced, like, oh, okay, well, I don't really care that much. His last movie was 15/70 to Paris, so, a little iffy on that. And him as a director, like, at least for this decade, has been pretty on and off, so I just didn't really know what to think of it. But then when they released the trailer, like, I immediately got very interested. Like the trailer editing alone is like some of the best of this entire year, to be honest. Like either way, like the movie turns out, that trailer is going to be one of the best. Like just that slow little piano, it really adds a lot of suspense to the trailer, and it gives this really like great vibe. Like this is going to be one suspenseful ride. Now this could go either way because we have seen Clint Eastwood movies that turn out really boring, but so far, it seems like they have a lot of great story potential. It seems like they have a lot of great actors, especially Clint Eastwood acting in his own film, that I think this might actually turn out to be one of the most riveting films of this year. At least, I hope so, at least. So The Mule, what started off as just this film I didn't know anything about, and it was just this surprise announcement, is now a film that I'm highly anticipating. So I can't wait. I hope this is a great film for Clint Eastwood after 15/17 in Paris, because that movie fucking sucked.
So if you guys are excited for The Mule, it does come out on December 14th. Hoping that this is a really great comeback for Eastwood overall, because he really has not been doing too great lately. But the next film, also on December 14th, is one that I think is definitely going to get some serious Oscar consideration, and that's one I'm most anticipated, not just of the month, but of the entire year. And joining back for me for this one is the same panel from The Mule, literally the same exact people that you just saw for this next one. And that, of course, is the highly anticipated new film from Alfonso Cuarón, of course, being Roma. So Roma overall, I am hyped for this one. This is one that, the second that I heard Alfonso Cuarón was doing a movie on Netflix, that immediately piqued my interest because it's Alfonso Cuarón, and at least you're going to get a visual spectacle. But then came the outpour of reviews and the amazing trailer, and honestly, the closer we get to this film, the more hyped I honestly do get for it. I mean, from what I'm hearing, most people are saying that this is Alfonso Cuarón's masterpiece and that this is his most personal film to date, because from what I understand, this film is actually loosely based on his life, and I really want to know like as little as possible going into it. I have not watched the full trailer. I don't plan on it because, like I said, I really don't want to know a ton about it, other than knowing that it is very much sort of like an autobiographical film for Cuarón. The actors in here, they're all pretty much unknowns from what I understand, which is a really cool idea. I like the films in black and whites, and just overall, this film looks so well done. It feels like this is the film that is basically his passion project. I feel like this is something that Cuarón's wanted to do for a very long time, but he just needs to really solidify himself as the director that he really is. And if this film is good, as everyone's saying that it is, I think we're looking at the first Netflix film to possibly get a Best Picture nomination. Again, I know that's a bit of a stretch, but from what I'm hearing, I think that is honestly very possible. I think this film could end up getting a lot of stuff, and if it does, I think that this could hopefully change Netflix's attitude about where they really need to go. I know I've said it so many times, but if this film turns out to be as good as I think it's going to be, and it's going to get as many accolades as I believe it's going to, I think this film could possibly redeem their reputation. I think this could make them realize that, holy shit, we need to scale back on all these shitty sort of direct-to-DVD films we're doing and focus more on stuff like this, because this is the kind of stuff that Netflix absolutely needs to be backing. And I'm really hoping this film turns out to be as great as it can possibly be. It sucks that it's not coming to all theaters, because it seems like a film that's like meant to be viewed on the big screen. If it comes to my theater, then cool, but I feel like it's highly unlikely. Either way, though, I still can't wait to see this whenever it comes out. I think it looks absolutely incredible, and by far one of the most anticipated of the entire month for sure.
1 second, there's a fucking train going by. That's distracting. Hang on.
Get out of here, Thomas.
Thomas, go away.
Yeah, fuck you, Thomas.
Wait, no, it's James.
Oh my god, this is a long ass train. Go away.
Thomas, take
going
down the railroad.
George Carlin. Everyone come to be quiet for a second, you fucking bitch ass motherfucker. This is the longest train I've ever heard in my life. Like, look at the fucking train tracks. Fuck me.
I can hear it like faintly.
The train is still going by.
Oh my god! Wait! Here we go.
Oh my god! This is the longest freight train that has ever gone by. Holy shit!
Freight train coming in.
Okay, it's past my house. We did it! Yay!
All right, good.
So Roma is by far one of my most anticipated films of the whole year, and definitely, obviously, the rest of it, but just like the whole year in general when we're looking on it and stuff, and for many reasons. Obviously, Alfonso Cuarón has begun to certify himself as one of the best directors of this like generation of filmmakers, and especially he's definitely one of the best like Spanish filmmakers of all time, and he's right up there with some of the best working today. So that alone obviously is exciting. And then what this film is about, like Kevin said, it's loosely based on his childhood. It's really cool how it's also like in Spanish, I believe, and it just like really looks like it's going to be a very like authentic film. And I know Alfonso Cuarón is really good with like intimate, filmmaking, and this one looks like it's going to be like his most intimate yet. And I'm extremely, extremely excited. I think it looks absolutely incredible. The reviews are getting me hyped. I am predicting 110%. I am betting that it's going to be one of those very few films that are nominated, that foreign films are nominated, that's nominated for Best Picture, like Amor, in Cries and Whispers. I know there's one other one, but I forget the name of it. And yeah, man,
Life is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, man, and if that, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, and that would be an amazing accomplishment. And yeah, man, I'm very, very excited for it, and I'm even more excited now because I found out, because it was announced yesterday that the film is going to have 70mm prints, and it's going to be in Toronto, but it's also going to be in other major cities, which means that it highly, highly might be coming to Boston in 70mm. And if that happens, I'm going to bust the biggest nut of my life. Okay. And yeah, and also I know this film, like, Alfonso Cuarón wants people to like watch it in like Dolby Atmos.
Turn the music off.
And I know Alfonso Cuarón wants people to watch this film in like 4K Dolby Atmos. So if I end up liking it, I'll definitely rewatch it that way on Netflix. And I'm just really hyped. You know, Alfonso Cuarón's one of those directors that really cares about the film-going experience, and I think it's cool that he's going to have a film like this on Netflix, and it's going to be presented the way that he wants it to be. And I'm happy Netflix is putting so much effort into putting this in theaters and doing 70mm prints, because I wanted that really bad, because this film was shot on 65mm, so that's awesome. Yeah, so looks fantastic. Yeah, boy.
All right. I'm very excited for Roma. Alfonso Cuarón is a director that I love a lot, to be honest. Children of Men is one of my favorite movies of all time. I saw that right around the first time it came out, to be honest. And I was just so blown away by the movie when I first saw it. And he's been a director that's been on my radar ever since then. And this looks like probably his most personal movie to date. Like you guys said, it's pretty much loosely based on his childhood and stuff like that. And it looks amazing, to be honest. It looks very well shot. I like that the movie is in Spanish and, you know, it's in black and white. I think it will add a lot to the film, to be honest. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. And it seems like Netflix is putting a lot. It seems like they're putting a lot of effort into even to the marketing of this, to be honest. Because I've even seen commercials for this. Like, while I'm watching wrestling, I've even seen commercials, like, during the show for this.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it seems like they're really putting effort into the marketing as well for this. I'm really glad they are, because this looks really fantastic. I'm honestly really excited for it. I think it's going to be one truly incredible film. So I'm really excited for Roma.
Thank you, Mr. Muniz, Mr. Pratt, Mr. Holland, and Mr. West.
I'm a fish, bitch.
Who, Kanye? I mean,
yeah. Alfonso Cuarón. Okay, I'm gonna say something that might get me killed. I haven't seen Children of Men.
I haven't either, so.
But I have seen the only films I've seen from him is like Gravity and Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay. And I love both.
Gravity's good.
Yeah, and and honestly, like, the last time I saw the trailer, I saw it like the day it came out. So I had to rewatch it like a few hours ago just to get trying to get like a clear image of how it looks like from the trailer, and it looks fantastic. Like, Netflix so far it's kind of 50-50. They make some good movies and they made not so good movies. But with Alfonso Cuarón, I think he's a talented director from what I've seen. So, like, and I think this might be one of their strongest movies they put out. This is definitely going to be a big movie when it comes to Oscar season. Like, the performance, I actually do like that they actually got some unknowns instead of getting like big name actors to do this movie. And not only that, the movie, I actually love that it's actually in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly didn't know it was based on, like, I don't know if it's you said loosely based or actually based on his...
Well, okay, from what like Kuran said, like the story itself, I think is new, but like a lot of it is based on like his it's kind of like Lady Bird, where it's like very like kind of loosely based to the point where it's like autobiographical.
Yeah, so
like a lot of it is very close to like what he went through in his personal life.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually this is like you can say this is one of the few Netflix movies I'm actually excited to watch. I can't wait we can watch it on Rabbit. Yeah, let's go. So yeah, I can't wait to see it. Hopefully it's as good as a lot of the reviews are saying it is. Like hopefully it's not overhyped like a lot of movies, like some movies I see are. But yeah, can't wait to watch it.
I'm really excited for this too. Like same with all you guys. Alfonso Cuarón is a director I really admire. So when this film is coming out, like very interesting to see him make one for Netflix. You know, because for a director like that, you probably wouldn't expect him to do something like that. But you know, streaming's becoming more popular, baby. So Roma to Netflix, which is probably going to be a huge win for them to have a film like this. Because I'm going to predict, like you guys, that it's gonna not only like be like best foreign film nominee, but like actual like best picture, you know what I mean? Like and from what you guys are saying about how they're marketing this, I think that's a huge possibility. And you know, if the movie it turns out as great as what a lot of early reviews are saying, then you know I couldn't be happier for it. It looks like visually stunning. The black and white, just the cinematography looks so good. And you know, you cast all these unknown names, which also could add a lot of like reality to the film. Like sometimes if you cast like these big name actors, you can be kind of taken out of it, but some like when you cast these unknown people, like that kind of gives you like maybe a sense like you haven't seen them before, so there's that strong possibility that they're real kind of thing. I haven't seen the new trailer that they released. Like I'm kind of like you, Kevin. I'm trying to see as little as possible. All I know is the basic that it's somewhat based on Alfonso's real life, and that I mean that alone just gets me really hyped for it. Like I can't wait to see it.
And it's like to add to like Jackson's point about it being like on Netflix, I think that it's like an awesome thing because the film's gonna be able to be presented in the way that Alfonso Cuarón wants it to be, and it's great that a filmmaker this special is gonna have that, you know, has having this type of like treatment for his film. And one other thing, that I'm very confused about, and maybe people can look into it for me, but I heard that like Beck is gonna do like music for the film and it's gonna be added to the film, which I'm very confused about because a key part of the film is that it doesn't have a score. So now it's going to have a score and it's by Beck, who's a great artist, but like, it's like, I'm not sure. So I wonder how that's all going to work.
Maybe there'll be like a separate cut where like they implement his music and then there's
yeah, but it opens up in I think it's gonna open up in Toronto like next week and stuff. So I don't know.
They might maybe they'll like re-release it and call like the Beck cut, because I know they've done that with like some foreign releases.
I don't know. I'm just like confused because if they're gonna do 70mm prints, then like that's gonna cost a lot if they want to add it.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so who knows? But whatever.
But if you guys are looking forward to Roma, it does come out on December 14th. It's also been in select theaters already, which hopefully you got a chance to see. Unfortunately, it has not come to my theater, and I don't think it's going to, so I'll probably just have to wait for Netflix, which is a bit unfortunate. But either way, it comes out December 14th on Netflix, so definitely check it out. Also recently came into... The next one we're going to talk about also recently had a bit of a stint in theaters. And by a stint, I mean literally by one day. It had a one-night-only theatrical release, but it's not coming out until December 14th. And joining me for this one, once again, we have Auburn Wanderer and Jackson Fulcher, both coming back to talk about this next very controversial film. And that, of course, is Lars von Trier's The House That Jack Built.
Oops, that was maybe a mistake.
What was maybe a mistake?
Me getting in this car with you. You might as well be a serial killer. Sorry, but you do kind of look like one.
The House That Jack Built. I am very interested in this movie, to say the least. Lars von Trier, I can't say I'm a fan of his work because I've only seen one of his films, Antichrist, which I do adore. I acknowledge that it's a very weird and out there film. It's very grotesque. It's very different. But for me, I think that it is a very well done film. About a lot of really deep, complex themes and things like that. His other works, though, I have not seen, Melancholia and Nymphomaniac. I do want to watch them before this. But this film in general, I'm very, like I said, intrigued by. The story itself is very fascinating to me. I always love stories where we're kind of getting into the mind of a serial killer, just seeing the way they operate, the mindset, I think is overall a very interesting idea. Matt Dillon looks like he's going to be very well casted here. I still don't really know a lot about the story. I think it's just really like seeing the serial killer in like the span of 12 years, which is a really cool idea. But of course, the big thing to talk about with this film is all of the controversy it's getting. I'm hearing this is like his most violent film yet. And to think of him making something more violent than Antichrist, I mean, I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you, because there's some stuff in that film that is truly traumatizing. And to hear that this film is even more graphic and bloodier than that, I don't know exactly how that's going to work for me. But at the same time, I'm very interested in seeing what he does. I love directors that are risk takers, that aren't afraid to, really push your buttons and really get that big reaction out of you. And, they do what they really want to do. I'm just hoping that it's purposeful. I'm hoping that it's not gratuitous. I'm hoping that it's not just a pretentious film. I'm hoping that there is a purpose to it. And, I haven't watched the trailer or anything because, well, I watched like a little bit of the trailer, but not like the whole thing. Just because, again, this is a film that I kind of want to go into not really knowing a lot. I don't love the fact that they are doing an extended cut in theaters and then they're going to drop like the quote unquote the one that's not, the regular one online, because I heard that the one that's going to be in theaters is like the more official cut. So that kind of pisses me off. But overall, I'm very interested in seeing how this film does turn out. I think Lars von Trier is a very interesting director for sure, and I hope this film does turn out to be at least something really great, because I do think that this could be great. I'm just, like I said, the controversy and things like that, it's a little bit worrisome, but I hope in the end it does pay off.
Okay, Kevin, I just need to correct you on a few things because you said some really stupid things. First of all, Lars von Trier made like 12 movies before Antichrist.
Okay.
So like that's not his first movie.
No, I said I've only seen one movie from him.
Yeah, but you said you want to see his other two movies.
Well, those are like his most popular ones. I don't know the other ones he's done.
First of all, Breaking the Waves is more popular than Melancholia and Nymphomaniac. So
I've never heard of that film.
It's like on Criterion. And the second thing is that they're gonna do the same exact thing they did from Nymphomaniac, where the director's cut is in theaters, and then the regular R-rated version comes online. And then when it gets released on Blu-ray, the director's cut will be on it probably. Yeah, I do agree with you though. It is stupid, but anyways, so yeah. So yes. Now, if it wasn't for Shoplifters on the Other Side of the Wind, this would be the most anticipated film of the year. I am a huge fan of Lars von Trier. I think that he is one of the best filmmakers working today. Like Kevin said, he does not give a fuck. He really doesn't, to put it literally. He pushes the boundaries of cinema in ways that, really, they've been done before, by other filmmakers, definitely. But he takes it to a level that is just unreal at times. And I think that he really tries to go for like the realism of film while also being, very bold and very stylistic. And yes, some of his ideas are pretentious. Nymphomaniac, but yeah, but besides that, I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. And this film looks incredible. I'm very excited to see the way so it takes place over 12 years. And what better filmmaker than Lars von Trier to make a film about a serial killer? I mean, because he's just gonna go for it. And I've heard some things happen in this film that are very disturbing, but that's expected of Lars von Trier. It's a little bit annoying. It's going to have two different cuts again. But it is actually screening near me in a few days, the director's cut, and hopefully I get to see it in theaters. It isn't rated, so I'll get in. I cannot fucking wait.
All right. I'm very different than you two. I have never seen a Lars von Trier movie before. So when I first heard about the reaction to the house that Jack built from what was it, Cannes?
Yeah.
I was more so just kind of interested because I hadn't seen his other films, but it was just because it was a serial killer movie and people were just grossed out by it. So I was like, oh, come on, what did you guys expect? And then, I watched the trailers and I thought it looked very good. Like it seemed like Lars von Trier had found Matt Dillon like in a perfect casting moment, like because Matt Dillon, I honestly I never thought I'd see him do a movie like this, but so far from the trailers, it looks like he's got it real down, and it just looks like a really dark, depraved kind of psychological look at the mind of a serial killer. So I was pretty pumped to see this movie at some point because it looked like the kind of movie that I'd watch once and just be so grossed out by it, but I'd appreciate in some way, shape, or form. There's been a couple like reviews that have come out that have reviews that know Lars von Trier like more so than me, obviously, that have tried that, or they have said that it's more of a troll movie, like Lars von Trier trolling the audience kind of thing, and that he's a pretentious snob and all this shit. So I'm a little worried based off that because I definitely need to educate myself in the Lars von Trier works before seeing this one for sure, because I think that's required at this point. Some people were mentioning how he includes footage from Antichrist at some point. I think that's the right movie that they were talking about. So
Really?
yeah, like that he's reusing certain shots from that movie or other movies that he's done or something like that.
That's a bit self-indulgent, but
yeah, that's
Lars von Trier is the most self-indulgent director of all time.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm a little worried. Like, I don't want his self-indulgence to get in the way of what could be like a really just spine-chilling like kind of story about this killer. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that it just works as a just disgusting, disturbing movie, because honestly, like, you have this really great idea. It would suck that your own self-indulgence got in the way of that and ruined it. So I'm optimistic about it, and I'm looking forward to getting more versed into this director's work, but I'm also a little cautious at the same time.
So if you guys are looking forward to The House that Jack Built, it does come out on December 14th on VOD. It's not going to be the regular one, as we said. It's only going to be the regular one. It's not going to be the director's cut, which kind of sucks. But if you're looking forward, it does come out on December 14th. And that's really everything coming out on December 14th. Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, Roma, The Mule, and The House of Jack Built. Really packed day overall. Also, real quick, I did want to mention this. I know we talked about it in the last movie preview, but If Beale Street Could Talk also got moved to December 14th, which, I'm not going to discuss it here because that would just kind of be redundant. I've already discussed it in the previous one, so just watch the November movie preview if you want to hear my thoughts on that I did with Auburn Wanderer and Andrew Hayes. But again, it is coming out then. It's going wide on Christmas Day, I think, and yeah, so if you guys are like, okay, why didn't you talk about that? It's there, it's coming out, and I just wanted to throw that in there. However, now, guys, we get to the film that I am just so excited to finally talk about. There's a lot of movies coming out this year that people are really excited for, like Roma and, The Favorites, and a couple other films we've already discussed. Some we're going to talk about a little bit later. But for me, easily my most anticipated, not just of the month, but the entire year, finally comes out on December 19th, and we got a great panel joining for this one. We got, Film Fan back, we got MC Deadpool back, we have Andrew Hayes back, and we have Jackson Fulcher, all here to talk about my most anticipated of the entire month, of course, being Mary Poppins Returns.
What brings you here after all this time? Same thing that brought me the first time. I've come to look after the bank's children. Us? Oh, yes, you too.
We're about to lose our home. Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother.
I miss Mother.
Nothing's gone forever, only out of place.
once again, I know you guys are going to be like, oh my God, Kevin, once again, you once again have the biggest musical of the year as your most anticipated of the year, but I'm sorry, I just can't help it. This movie looks absolutely incredible. I mean, Mary Poppins was a huge part of my childhood. It was a film that I watched a lot as a kid. It was something that I hearken back to very often, you know, things like, and it's a film that I think is essential for you as a kid. If you didn't watch it when you were a kid, you know, you definitely had a childhood. I just don't think you had as great of a childhood as you could have because you didn't see that movie. I mean, it's such an essential piece of entertainment, really showing how, you know, even when you're adult, you can still have fun and you can't let this, you know, corporation or whatever, like, get the best of you. But it's just a really great film overall. I mean, Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, you name it. There's so many great things about that film between the music and everything it did for Disney. I mean, that is easily Disney's most successful live action property. And you know, obviously seeing them come back, I think it's like 50 years later and doing a sequel, sure, it's a bit jarring. And it definitely is something that is a very tall task, but I think they're going to pull it off. I really think that this could be something really great. First of all, it really seems like, despite the fact that this doesn't have involvement from, you know, any of the writers or directors, obviously because most of them are long dead, you can tell that there's definitely passion here. You can tell these are people that really understand this story. They know what to do. They're kind of using P.O. Travers' books as like a they're using it as a crutch for what they want to do with the story, but I think they're going to go in their own direction as well, because similar to, say, Mr. Banks, a lot of what's in that book I don't really think translates as a film. So I think that's very much what they're going to end up doing here. The cast here looks phenomenal. Emily Blunt, let me just say, looks spot on as Julie Andrews. I mean, there are parts in the trailer where you honestly can't tell that it's Emily Blunt. Like, she's really just that good. All the quirks and all the various idiosyncrasies of that character, she seems like she is down to a T. And also knowing that Julie Andrews handpicked her and that she was someone who was delighted to have her, you know, replace her, I think really shows that this is going to be something great. Lin-Manuel Miranda, of course, looks fantastic here. Emily Mortimer, Ben Whishaw. I mean, just a fantastic cast. You got Dick Van Dyke in there as well. I mean, there's literally so many things to be excited for in this movie. And sure, the director of this film, Rob Marshall, he's not the best. He's definitely not my favorite. I've really only liked a couple films from him here and there. You know, Annie and Into the Woods are the two that I really do love from him. Everything else I'm not really a huge fan of, but hopefully this can be a really great sequel. I'm not expecting this to be as good as the first because that's just impossible. There's no way that's going to happen. But I do think this is going to be a very worthy successor. I think they're really pulling out all the stops here. The sets look amazing. I love that it's set in the Great Depression. There's so much more you can get out of the story in that way. Also, I have to say, I love that they're going back to the 2D animation. I am so excited to see what they do with that. It's something that I didn't think they were going to do because you rarely see it nowadays. And to see them actually go back to the 2D animation, I mean, I couldn't be more sold. I could not be more excited for this film. I'm watching that trailer daily pretty much. You know, I've been listening to the songs that they release and things like that. The more I see of this movie, the more I just get excited for it. And, you know, you may say I'm overhyping it, but again, it's Mary Poppins Returns. I think it's a very highly anticipated film. It's a film that I wish more people were excited for because I don't really think that hype is there as much as it should be, but it definitely is one that I am absolutely excited for. I think this is really going to put Disney on top. I'm hoping that this gets their live action team to, you know, kind of figure things out because their live action films have not really been that great lately. And I hope that this is a really great sequel overall. Easily most anticipated of the year. I think I've said enough. You know, I'd love to gush about this movie for like 20 more minutes, but we got more people to go, so just go ahead, Double Nine.
Hello. Mary Poppins was a movie that I did see as a kid. I saw a lot, you know, throughout my childhood and stuff like that. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember loving it a lot. So with the sequel, I am very excited for the sequel. It actually looks pretty good, to be honest. I think Emily Blunt seems like a good replacement for Julie Andrews. And it just seems like it could be, a really magical film, just like the original. And hopefully, I just hope it's a good sequel. And, I am looking forward to a lot. I've been liking a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing marketing-wise as well. I like a lot of the posters that I've seen for this movie, too. I think they're doing a lot of really good with the marketing as well. So, yeah, overall, I'm very excited for this movie, and hopefully it's really good. So, yeah, hoping for the best for this.
All right, Eminem.
Hi. So Mary Poppins Returns. I'll be honest here. When I first heard that this movie was being made, I was a little cautious. I'll say this: the first Mary Poppins, I am a fan of. I'm not a gigantic fan like Mr. Falk over here. But I still really like the movie. Okay. So.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, and when I heard that the director was doing Rob Marshall, is that the guy's name?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his films. I'm in the minority that thinks Chicago's overrated.
It is.
Unlike Mr. Falk, I thought Into the Woods was fine. It was fine. And watching when I heard Emily Blunt was cast, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a perfect casting choice. And then when I watched it, I was like, yeah, dang, this looks really good. I wouldn't say I'm falling head over heels for it like Kevin is. Maybe because he grew up. Maybe because I'll be honest, I never grew up watching Mary Poppins. I guess maybe that might. Maybe that might come into play on my reaction to the trailer, but yeah, it still looks really good. Emily Blunt looks fantastic, and I'm not. And I like Lin-Manuel Miranda looks great too. Ben Whishaw and Emily Mortimer looks really good. I love how they bring back the 2D animation mixing with live action. That looked. That looked great. It still has the same magic and charm and wonder as the original from the trailers, and I can't wait. I really am excited to see this, and hopefully, when this movie came out, a certain meme doesn't appear. Hopefully, but yeah. So yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. Right. I've seen Mary Poppins a couple of times in my youth. I haven't seen it recently, but I adore this movie a lot. So when they announced the sequel, Robert Marshall, I liked Into the Woods, and On Stranger Tides it's an all right movie. So I was a little interested at first, and even that teaser was like, all right, it's a typical like Disney. They don't really think much of it yet. Oh, they released the new trailer. And I was like, oh my God, this movie looks phenomenal. And even though Suspiria was my most anticipated for the rest of the year, now that I've seen Suspiria, I can proudly say that Mary Poppins is my most anticipated for this month and for the rest of the year. It just looks absolutely magical. Like Disney, I have some gripes with Disney overall, but goddamn, they can make something really magical when they have all their effort, set design, cinematography, the 2D animation. Like, oh my God, this movie looks visually gorgeous. I can't wait to hear the new musical numbers they've come up with. Like Emily Blunt, I can't wait to see her. Like, she already looks perfect from the trailers. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's like, I think he's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to hear his stuff. I'm not going to be like Kevin and listen to his songs before the movie comes out.
I heard one song, okay, one song.
But
I couldn't resist it.
Okay. But, I can't, and, Meryl Streep, Colin Firth, Ben Whishaw, all these talented people in this movie. It's like, oh my God. And then best part about the new trailer for me is just the thing that tugged at my heart the most was seeing good old Dick Van Dyke get up on a table and start doing a dance. And I'm like, I can't wait to see him again. I can't wait to see him do another dance, because like that's my most anticipated scene, just to see what he's doing in this movie.
Only that, he's actually playing the you know how he played like the older banker in like the first one? Like how he played like the older man the first one. Yeah, he's gonna play the son of that older man in this one. So it actually
it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
I can't say anything else about this movie. It looks phenomenal. I can't wait to see it. I hope it brings that musical joy that I love to see in musicals.
All right, here we go. So Mary Poppins returns. She's returning, all right. But but seriously, I think Emily Blunt is probably the perfect person to play Mary Poppins. I really remember when that news broke that she was going to be playing Mary Poppins, and I was like, not that I was like excited for the movie, but I go that just seems like the right person, and like I really can't see anybody else other than Julie Andrews playing Mary Poppins at this point.
Yeah.
And if Julie Andrews, I actually didn't know that Julie Andrews handpicked Emily Blunt.
Yeah, like she, yes, like from what I heard, like they were very careful with who to cast, and Mary Poppins, I guess Julie Andrews like met with Emily Blunt, and she like approved her casting and things like that. So,
I mean, if Julie Andrews is 100% behind Emily Blunt,
yeah,
then I have to put my faith in Emily Blunt because
absolutely, yes.
And it wouldn't be fair to compare her to Julie Andrews.
No.
I'm just excited to see her do her own thing, and I'm excited to see this movie. I haven't seen the original in quite some time. I do love it. It's just been a little bit since I've seen it, and I am also very excited to see Dick Van Dyke in this movie. I had no idea that he was going to be in this movie until I saw him in the trailer. I think it's fantastic that he's going to be in this movie. And I just can't wait to see Dick Van Dyke do Dick Van Dyke stuff.
Okay.
But guys, here's the thing, guys. Mary Poppins is one of the most overrated movies ever made.
Excuse me, Gary? I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Oh, no.
I am quite upset that
I was
Michael
disappointed
Rooker
that Michael Rooker wasn't cast as Mary
That's
Poppins.
literally why half of the people that are going to be because of that. Oh my god!
All right, here's a special message for all of you watching. Please, when the movie comes out, do not make the "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all" quote from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because that's probably gonna
literally gonna be my description. When I upload my review, my video description is literally gonna be "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all."
Mine is going to be y'all love Mary Poppins.
Mine is going to be Rip Kevin because I'm going to hear that shit too much.
Mine is gonna be the original Mary Poppins is one of the most overrated movies ever made.
No, you don't.
Mine's gonna be. Let's move on to the next movie.
So if you guys are looking forward to Mary Poppins Returns, it comes out on December 19th, not the 21st. It's going to be a Wednesday release. I don't know if that's going to become a trend with, like, the big musical of the year, but it happened with Greatest Showman. It's happening again with Mary Poppins Returns, so definitely check that out. It also is going to have a, an advanced screening on that Tuesday, which you guys will probably want to go to as well, but definitely check that out. So hyped for that one, and it does come out on December 19th. But now we really get into the craziness that is Christmas Day, because if you guys thought last year was crazy, that's nothing compared to this year. There's like almost 8 movies coming out, and it is a lot. There's a lot of big blockbusters coming out, and the first 2 especially, it's going to be very hard to figure out like which one is really going to be the big, film of that week, because there are 2 really big ones here, and the first one I am very excited for. Joining back for this one, we have Auburn Wanderer, MC Deadpool, and Film Fan 0599 to talk about a film that I'm very intrigued for, and that, of course, is Bumblebee.
So you have no idea where he came from?
No idea.
Well,
Here's the deal. People can be terrible about things they don't understand. From now on, the only person you can show yourself around is me. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks.
There's a war raging on our planet. If this criminal isn't found, that war may find its way here.
Is there anyone that can help you? Do you have a family? Oh, me.
Bumblebee, guys. This is a film that I'm actually really looking forward to. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. I'm looking forward to a Transformers film, but this actually looks really damn good. What I love about this film right off the bat, or at least what I'm getting from the marketing, is that they're going for a much different type of tone here. I mean, first of all, it's going to take place in the 80s, which makes sense since that's where Transformers actually, originated, was in the 80s and things like that. They're going with like the original designs of the Transformers and things like that, which I think is a really creative idea overall. We actually get to see color in this universe, a lot of bright colors, which is something that we're not used to at all. The relationship between Haley Steinfeld and Bumblebee looks really cute, honestly. It looks really sweet, and I'm really excited in getting into that. The cast here is really good. Between her, of course, John Cena. Also, my boy Justin Theroux is in there. We also have Jorge Lenenborg Jr. from Brigsby Bear, of course, and, Love Simon earlier this year, Pamela Adlon. Really stellar cast overall. Sure, there are definitely things to complain about because there are things to, not necessarily to complain about, but to worry about because, we know how the other films in this franchise have turned out, but this is now a completely different franchise. They're taking into completely different territory, and I'm really excited to see what Travis Knight's able to do here. I think from what I'm getting here, he's going to breathe life into this franchise when that seemed virtually impossible. I'm glad that Michael Bay is not anywhere, near these films. I think getting him as far away as possible is definitely the right approach, and hopefully it pays off because I'm actually really excited for this. I really hope this does turn out to be as good as I think it's going to be because this actually looks pretty damn good. But now we get to the person who I know absolutely just adores all about it. What do you have to say, Mr. Fish?
So Transformers is like the Michael Bay movies. Let me just preface this. Actual Transformers are fucking awesome. Like, I love the fucking, lore behind them, and I think there's so many great characters, and the designs are fucking badass and everything. I think it's great. It has so much potential to be a great, franchise. So it's really bad that, it's unfortunate that the Michael Bay movies so far have been, the worst action films I've ever seen. And to be honest, it says a lot that you can fuck up something that's so good, so, man, when this film was announced, it was announced Michael Bay, he's not going to be a part of this and that. And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll be somewhat looking forward to it. So finally the trailer comes out for it, and I've seen both trailers. And, here's what I'll say. It definitely does definitely not even debatable looks better than all of the Michael Bay fucking films. But that honestly is not saying much because, to be honest, I think this just looks like an average action film, to be honest. I feel like a lot of people are getting so caught up in just how different it is, and they're going back to the original designs and what actually has color. Oh, look, people actually give a shit. That doesn't, to me, it seems like a bunch of gimmicks that just aren't gonna fucking work, to be honest. The only thing gimmick-wise, if you wanna call it that looks like it's actually could pay off, are then going back to the 80s designs, because that's fucking awesome. But besides that, I'm not feeling the vibe of it. To me, this just looks like your average forgettable action film. And I'm someone that enjoys action films, and if they are average, that doesn't mean I'm gonna hate them, but there needs to be something else there that stands out to me. And to be honest, there really is nothing in here that it looks like that will stick out to me. I'm hoping it surprises me. I want it to be good, so hopefully it is good. But to be honest, I don't really, honestly, surprisingly, have much to say besides that. I hope it's good. I'm not too impressed so far, but yeah. So one more thing though is I do think them building up the relationship between Haley Steinfeld's character and Bumblebee is a good idea. And I feel like if they were to, it looks like it's executed okay so far on the trailers. So if they were to build on that, and then hopefully the story is compelling enough that it could be it could surprise me a lot. So Yeah, so that's all I have to say. So yeah, I'm actually not dreading this, surprisingly. So yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to this a lot more than I really should be, to be honest. But as Mr.
Same.
Fish, I haven't been the biggest fan of these movies. But you know, this actually you want to know something? This actually has a sense of heart. Gee, like, where has that been? But no, seriously, it actually does look pretty cool. I do think this actually looks a lot better so far than a lot of the other Transformers. Who knows? This could be, for the love of God, who knows? This could be as bad as the other ones. But as of right now, it really isn't looking that way. And I hope this is the actual first good Transformers movie we get. And you know, I really want it to be like kind of like a soft reboot to all of this, and hopefully this could get the franchise back on the right track. So yeah, hopefully it's really good. I think so far it looks pretty solid. You know, I really like how they're building the relationship between Bumblebee and Haley Steinfeld's character. I can't wait to see that. And of course, my boy John Cena, he's going to be there. He's going to, you know, whip some ass. Hopefully maybe he finds some way to give Bumblebee an attitude adjustment. We shall see. So yeah, I'm actually pretty much looking forward to this, to be honest. So yeah.
I know you really want him to talk in this one.
Shut the fuck up. That is not even, like, funny. Like, you don't even mention that. That is literally the worst scene I think I've ever fucking seen in a movie. And I'm not, like, trying to over-exaggerate.
Optimus, stop!
No, you stop. By the way, I just want to say one thing that Double Nine said. If this movie ends up being just as bad, I'm actually going to fucking commit suicide.
All right.
Because who knows? We can't rule out that possibility.
I really hope it's good. I hate other films a lot, but I genuinely hope it's good. Anyways, now to MCW.
Bumblebee!
Michaela!
Just do it!
From the movies!
I don't care.
All right. Carly. All right, but yeah, pretty much like everybody, I'm not the biggest fan of this franchise. The only one I like is the first one, yeah, and I still like it to this day. I don't care what anybody else says. I still like the first Transformers movies. The third one, I think it's just fine. It's okay. However, 2, 4, and 5, hated them. Despised them, especially the second one. You know, when I heard this movie was coming, I was like, oh, great, another Transformers movie that's probably going to be terrible. But then, you know, I heard that Travis Knight, who did Kubo and the Two Strings, a film that I really liked, and I heard Haley Steinfeld was attached. I was like, oh yeah, she's a great actress. And I watched the trailer, and I was actually impressed. Yeah, this movie, like Double Nine says, this movie actually looks like it has heart. Unlike the other ones, where all they are is just like, for the most part, they're just like explosions, Where this one is actually like there's actual care to it, and Travis Knight, you know, I think he grew up watching the Transformers as a kid, so maybe he kind of unlike what Michael Bay did, is trying to be more faithful to it. Also, the relationship between Haley Steinfeld and Bumblebee, I'm so far I'm buying it. I almost got like an Iron Giant vibe to it.
Yeah.
The visual effects, not since like the third one has the Transformers actually look good visually, because like 4 and 5 they look terrible. And this one, like, the effects on Bumblebee is great. The cast is great. Of course, Kevin, your lover, your man crush is in this. Yes.
Oh yeah, boy.
And
I got Carrie Coon and Widows, and now I got Thoreau here.
And also some other guy that I just couldn't see. He's playing a soldier. I couldn't see.
For Christ's sake almighty.
He was like invisible. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't
spot in that poster.
I don't know. He looks like he's trying to be he's the bad guy, but I wouldn't tell. I didn't see him anywhere. But yeah, this actually looks pretty good. Hopefully, this can be the first good Transformers movie since the first one. So
Oh, I thought you loved the second one though.
Shut the fuck
It's
up.
not like you watch it constantly or anything.
Kevin, you better shut your ass up.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro.
Shut your ass up, or I'll say that the Let It Go song from fucking Transformers 2 is better than the Let It Go song from fucking Frozen.
I mean, it's really not.
It actually is. Let It Go is kind of an overrated song, anyways. But yeah. Transformers. Travis and I, don't let us down. If you do Guardians 3, hope you do a good job with that. Next movie.
So if you guys are excited for Bumblebee, it does come out on December 21st. Hoping this one could be, hopefully, the best Transformers film ever. Maybe in a while. Hopefully ever, but we'll have to see. But also on December 21st, we have another really big film to talk about. This is one that I'm very interested in seeing how it does turn out. Joining back for this one, we have MC Deadpool and Film Fan 599, but making his return for the first of 2 times. He's only going to be on for 2 times in this, but we do have him here. 22 Tiger Dude is going to be back to talk about a film that I'm very interested in, and that, of course, is Aquaman.
In this trident resides the power of Atlantis. In the wrong hands, it would bring destruction. But in the hands of the true heir, it would unite above and below.
The time has come for Atlantis to rise again.
We must stop him.
And how do you propose we do that?
By retrieving this.
I already got one of those.
Not like this one, you don't.
The war is coming to the surface whether you like it or not.
So, Aquaman, this is a film that I have been semi-looking forward to, just like almost every single DC film. And I say that with a bit of skepticism because, as we all know, DC just has not been delivering really at all. I really loved Wonder Woman. I am of the very small group of people that actually enjoy Suicide Squad. I know. But other than that, Justice League I thought was fine. Batman v Superman is fucking awful. I just really have not been impressed by them, and I was really hoping that, considering how good Jason Momoa was in Justice League, which I actually thought he was really good despite the fact that he was really underused there, it definitely was not his problem, and the fact that James Wan was directing, that maybe this could be really good, but from the trailers, I feel the exact same way I have at all the other DC movies. This looks incredibly generic. It looks like it's trying to be a blatant ripoff of Black Panther. Like Black Panther was such a success, and let's try to capitalize on that. It very much seems that way. There's a lot of great actors in here that seem like they're going to be completely fucking wasted, especially Patrick Wilson. I don't know what the hell he's doing in this trailer. Jason Momoa, yes, he does look good. Him and Amber Heard have like zero chemistry from what I'm seeing. I don't know. She looks extremely miscasted here, for sure. The effects, Jesus Christ, the effects. I mean, just the look of the fish in this movie. It's terrible. I mean, the profile picture that Caden has right now, that picture of a fish looks better than every single design of the fish in this trailer.
Because there's a real fish, you fucking dumbass!
I mean, true, but I'm just saying, like, it looks really fucking bad. It doesn't look real at all. The lawn trailer that they released, sure, it was a little more promising, but that's because it had, like, this really great action sequence that I really wish that they would have just saved for the, for the movie and such, but I'm not necessarily dreading this film, but I just don't really care about it. It's a film that's coming out, and I really could give less of a shit. I hope it delivers. I don't think it's going to. But, we'll see. James Wan is a very good director, and maybe he'll impress me here, but I really don't know. There's a lot of things in here. The dialogue also is horrendous. Let me just say the dialogue is terrible in this trailer. There really isn't any dialogue in here that I like. Especially the stuff that's supposed to be funny is really fucking cringeworthy. It just seems like a lot of the same problems that we've been having with DC are going to be repeated in this film. It doesn't seem like they're learning, and I wish they were, but it just doesn't seem like that's the case. And everyone says, oh, when you have a good director on display, well, maybe that'll save it. Well, James Wan is directing this, and from what I'm gathering here, it does not really seem like he's going to save it. So we'll have to see. Once again, I'm not necessarily dreading it. I really could care less. It's a film, it's coming out, and I really don't care about it. As far as the cast here, like I already touched upon with Amber Heard and Patrick Wilson, there is a good cast here for sure. You have William Dafoe, you have Dolph Lundgren, you have Nicole Kidman, people that could potentially save this movie, people that could potentially, especially Nicole Kidman. I think she's probably going to give a really good performance here. However, I also think she could possibly be underused. We'll just have to see. But
it's always a matter of how they use these talents.
Yeah, of course. Like maybe it could be done well, but we'll have to see the way that that turns out.
So let me just preface this by saying that I've only seen Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, because I didn't see Suicide Squad in theaters, and I just fell behind after that, basically. So maybe I'm not should be talking about this because Justice League is a big deal because Aquaman was in that. But I'll say this about this film. For a film that is directed by James Wan, it's really sad because this does not look anything like a James Wan film, and it's really pissing me off. Okay, I do like Furious 7, but my main problem with that is my main concern with this. It just does not look like a James Wan film. It looks like his really unique style. It just isn't there. Like he has such atmosphere and these just wild ideas, and it just don't look like it's here. And besides that, it just doesn't look good, to be honest. Kevin brought up a great point. The writing and the humor and the dialogue looks awful.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, it looks terrible. And some of just like the scenes that look like they're going to be in this film, especially, which is probably going to be like the opening sequence, the fucking like aquarium scene. Oh my God.
Ugh.
It's so stupid. I get what they're trying to do. It's a cool idea, but just the execution looks and the CGI.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every single time I see that scene, I just think of fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
I don't blame you, dude, to be honest. So, yeah, and like, I agree with Kevin. Like, the Lana trailer was probably the best trailer so far, and I did think that trailer was better. I thought it looked okay, but like, why they showed so much action and like to be honest, the action doesn't even look that like thrilling, to be honest, which is like weird because Aquaman is such like a cool character and has all these like cool abilities and has some really good villains. So it's I don't know, like this looks like a film that's just like gonna be just like a disaster. And I've said this for years now. If this one doesn't turn out good, then they need. I know I'm pretty sure they canceled it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they need to make that fucking Flashpoint movie. They need to, because if this movie's a disaster, then this whole goddamn thing has been a failure. Besides Wonder Woman, to be completely honest with you. And if you can like all the films if you want to, but like I'm just talking, just like audience, like I'm just trying to like kind of like objectify it in a way, but audience wise and critic wise and just success wise, the Wonder Woman was like the only one that like really was like up there.
Oh yeah, for
all
sure.
these other ones, just objectifying it, so say, or putting it to like one like most people didn't like. So it's sad, but what it is, I guess. So I hope it's good. I am gonna watch all the other DC film, world of DC films that I haven't seen. So yeah, but this one, I don't know. I hope it's good, but I ain't feeling it so far.
It's just kind of, I'm getting like less and less excited for this movie, to be honest. Like I had some optimism about it at first because I love James Wan a lot as a director, and I do love the character of Aquaman a lot. But this just looks very bland to me. It just looks kind of just like very mediocre. I'm not necessarily dreading it, but there are a lot of things going against it more than with it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Like the CGI looks terrible. It's the worst. Honestly, out of any of the trailers, it's the worst thing about all the trailers to me. It just looks like a very poorly made video game, to be honest. It really just looks like that to me with a lot of the CGI. The dialogue doesn't look all that great. I'm hoping that Jason Momoa is the saving grace of it because, I think he could do well with this character, even though I didn't really think he was that great in Justice League. I do think he can do well with this character. I hope he can bring something to the character, but it just doesn't seem like he is with the trailer. But like from all the trailers I've seen, and like I said, he wasn't really that good in Justice League. But me with this whole DC, World of DC, or whatever the fuck they're calling it now.
World of DC, yeah.
Whatever the fuck they're calling it now. The only ones I have enjoyed, really, to be honest, I love Man of Steel, and I think Batman v Superman is really good. I don't care for both Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman all that much, and Justice League is, but I'm hoping this could be good. I want it to be good, but it just doesn't really seem like that. Just it's a big honestly. Like, that's the best way to describe it.
Oh, right. First of all, Double Nine, you are a fucking sexist. Wonder Woman is the greatest movie of all time. How fucking dare you?
Yeah, whatever.
But, I guess you can say I'm the second nicest person to talk about this movie in this, group, but, it looks okay.
What the fuck was that?
What?
I heard some, fucking, buzzing, screeching noise.
Outside, dude. Who cares? It looks okay. It just looks okay. For me with the DC movies, Man of Steel is mediocre. Sorry, Taylor. Don't. Excuse.
What the fuck?
Let me redo that. You can edit that out. For me, Man of Steel is very mediocre. Sorry, Double Nine. Batman v Superman also completely mediocre. Suicide Squad, however, fuck you, Kevin. That movie is a fucking disaster. You need to fucking rewatch that movie, because I don't know how you thought.
I did, and I enjoyed it.
Fuck that movie. Enough said. Wonder Woman so far is the only movie in this universe that I like, but even then, that movie, for me, I don't love it as much as everyone else do. There are some flaws I have with it. And Justice League, I also thought was just This one, it looks fine. I like Jason Momoa. He looks like he has charisma. I can say that about him. Amber Heard, not really feeling her so far based on the trailers. The action looks fine. Like the extended trailer with with that whole chase scene, it was like why would you want to show that entire scene in the trailers? Like, why couldn't you just wait for it until the movie comes out? I was like, the rest of the cast, I don't know. They're just probably gonna be wasted. Like Nicole Kidman, Patrick Wilson looks fucking hilarious with the look of his character. James Wan is a director that I appreciate a lot. I love both Conjuring movies. I really liked Saw, and I really like what he did with Furious 7. But so far, this trailer isn't fooling me. The visual effects, though, that is where I will say that one part of the trailer that I thought looked terrible. Maybe when the movie is done, when they're rendering, the CG probably might be better. But so far, they look terrible. And Kevin, when you say they look like Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
oh yeah.
I was like, I'm just imagining if Aquaman starts singing, "Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dreamer, dreamer, get us out."
Oh yeah, guys. Aquaman is a sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl, confirmed.
And oh yeah, plot twist. Patrick Wilson is actually Linus.
Yeah. Robert Rodriguez is actually directing this film. It's not James Wan.
Mr. Electric, send it to the principal's office and have it expelled!
Yeah, the reason why he's not directing Mortal Engines is because of this.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie looks fine. Hopefully, I go into all these DC movies because I don't think nobody, even the people that hate these movies, want these movies to fail.
No.
We all want these movies to be good.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just that Warner Brothers has been fucking up to the point where they just don't. They're not playing that. They should have just done what Marvel did. Just plan this out. Don't just go scatterbrain on. It's like, oh, let's make this movie. Let's make this movie. It's like, Jesus Christ. Because the more you do that, the more messy your universe is gonna be.
Yeah.
And the more people are starting to pull away from it. Like, based on the box office with Justice League, it's like, you guys need to straighten up over there. It's like hopefully the movie is good. Hopefully this might be another DC movie that I just want to be at least good. Just be solid. But so far it just looks fine. And that's all I gotta say.
All right, so for the first time on this movie preview, let's welcome. We got since it's December, we got a nice appearance here from Santa Claus himself, who's going to talk about Aquaman.
God himself.
That would be Tony Claus.
Woo!
Yes,
Tony
Tony Claus is here.
All right.
And as far as what I think about Aquaman, I'm definitely the most positive one in this group because I'm honestly looking forward to Aquaman. Obviously, I do have my little concerns. Like, I'm a little bit hesitant with Amber Heard as of right now, and the visuals could use more work. But really, aside from that, I think this could be a very entertaining movie. I really like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Like, I really enjoyed him in Justice League. That movie is a massive disappointment in my opinion, but he's one of the things I really liked about Justice League, and the fact that he's getting his own movie does excite me. And James Wan directing this is very interesting, and hopefully his direction will be really well done here. I do like the world that was created here, and even though, like I said, the CGI could use more work, especially underwater, the design, like how it is like underneath, I did like the design of the underwater world, and I do think it's a world that could be really cool, honestly, depending where they take that. But I am definitely looking forward to when we're going underwater. And hopefully, especially the chemistry with Jason Momoa and Amber Heard will click especially. I think there's a lot of cool things that they could do with this. I do really like the world, honestly. And Aquaman is a character I didn't really think much of when I was very young. Growing up and seeing what he's become, I'm like, yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Aquaman now, and I hope his movie will do well. And I hope, considering where the world of DC is at now, hopefully Aquaman could be good for a lot of people, because I know a lot of these DC movies have not been received very well. So hopefully Aquaman can turn the tables around for people. I hope it succeeds. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it'll be at least a nice, fun, entertaining movie, a very entertaining movie. So yeah, that's all I could really say, honestly. I'm just really looking forward to Aquaman.
So if you guys are looking forward to Aquaman, it does come out on December 21st. Interested in seeing how it turns out, but like I said, not especially confident about it. However, what I am excited for is another film that comes out that exact same day, and back again, we have MC Deadpool, Film Panel 599, and his final appearance already, 22 Tiger Dude, to talk about a film that, like I said, I'm very excited for, and that is Welcome to Marwen.
I was a hell of a good artist. A World War II illustrator, and now I can barely write my name.
I heard what happened to you.
5 of them jumped him. It's a miracle he survived.
You taking your meds?
I got beaten within an inch of my life for no reason.
One foot in front of the other. You got it, Mark.
Embrace the pain.
But I've created a world where I can heal.
What is all of this?
Welcome to Marwen. It's my art installation.
You're an artist?
That's a complicated story.
Well, tell me.
You really want to know?
Yes.
So, welcome to Marwin. I am actually very excited for this film. I think this film, right off the bat, looks really creative and different. It looks like it's going to have a very, it's a typical film where, like, sure, like, he's in a coma, but the whole idea of him building, like, this whole outside world of women, all people he's met in real life, and how this is kind of like a coping mechanism for him. I mean, it's a really cool idea overall, and it looks like it's one of those films that really is just going to tug at your heartstrings. And it's definitely the kind of film that I personally really do love. Steve Carell, man, what a hell of a year he's having, especially when it comes to the end of 2018. I mean, between this, Beautiful Boy, Vice, I really don't know like which one he's actually going to get the nomination for, but this could potentially be one of them as well. He looks like he's going to give a really strong performance here, especially in some scenes at the end of the trailer. I mean, you can definitely see the effect that this is having. I mean, this is a man who he's had a lot of his memories just completely wiped away, and a lot of his life he just doesn't really remember, and you can see how this has really had a very visceral impact on him. And the other actors this year, all look really great. Leslie Mann looks like she's gonna be really good. Gwendolyn Christie, lots of great talent sprinkled throughout this film. Merritt Weaver as well. The visual style of this film is very distinct. I'm pretty sure it's like stop motion or something like that, but whatever it is, it's really cool. I really love the way it's implemented in this trailer, and I'm really hoping it's not jarring in the film. I'm hoping that when we cut between the live action world and the, the world that is inside of Steve Carell's character's head, I'm hoping that it does blend seamlessly. I'm just really looking forward to this film overall. I think it looks really creative. It does look really emotional, but also looks like it could be a lot of fun as well. So I'm really hoping this does deliver. I think this looks like a really terrific film overall, and definitely one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most this month for sure. In fact, out of all the movies that are coming out on this day, this is actually the one that I am the most excited for.
Robert Zemeckis is pretty much the mastermind of creativity, to be honest. He's a guy that really knows how to take a creative vision and bring it to life. And this is exactly what I think he's going to do with this movie as well. From the looks of the trailers, I really like a lot how it's executed. I like seeing, this guy, a coping mechanism for him is, using these dolls to tell a story and stuff like that, and really helping throughout a lot of things. I really like that a lot, and I'm excited to see that, and especially the animated sequences when we do see with those dolls. I'm very excited to see how it's, shown in the film and stuff like that. I think it looks really fantastic. Steve Carell is an absolutely phenomenal actor, in my opinion, and I think he's going to give another really great performance here. The rest of the cast looks great as well. Robert Zemeckis seems like he's going to bring a lot of great directing style to this, and hopefully it's really good. It looks fantastic, in my opinion. Hopefully it's another great one from Zemeckis.
Before we turn to the other guys, I just want to say that this is actually based on a true story as well. Like Mark Hogenkamp was a real person. This did in fact happen to him. He was like savagely beaten and things like that. And he did have to, create the world of Marwenthal. So this is not original. This is very much based on a true story. And that makes me even more interested in seeing how Zemeckis brings that to life. But go ahead, Gary.
Whoa. When I saw the trailer for the movie, I was like, what the fuck is this? I saw that, Steve Carell's in this. I was like, okay, maybe I'll give it a watch. And it's from Robert Zemeckis, who I love. What the fuck? Robert Zemeckis is a great director. Sure, like a lot of directors, not all of his films are great, but, he made a lot of classics like Back to the Future and Castaway and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and like the last film I think he made was like The Walk with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, Allied.
Allied. Yeah, that's how memorable that is.
Yeah. I forgot that film.
I did either. I love Zemeckis, but that's one of his like rare missteps for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this movie looks fantastic. Steve Carell is an actor that you want to talk about an actor who starts off being known. Everybody pretty much know him from stuff like The Office and the 40-Year-Old Version, and like now, he's an Academy Award nominated actor. He's doing more serious roles. and he looks fantastic here. Leslie Mann, who, to be honest, I'm not really that big of a fan of, even she looks good here. And the rest of the cast, Janelle Monáe, Isa Gonzalez, Gwendolyn Christie, they all look really good. It's kind of interesting that this is actually based on a true story about how this guy kind of make up his own story by using like how can you say, like puppets or toys?
The miniatures.
As like, and like making his own stories with them, and it's kind of, you can, I think based on the trailer, he's kind of using the stories of his real life and use it for the miniatures and recreating it based on what the trailer is presenting, right? Yeah, and the visual effects actually look really good. Like, I don't know, like, knowing Robert Zemeckis, he probably used, like, maybe the actors use like motion capture. Maybe he might have used that. So if that's the case, then hey, yeah, it looks really good, and they don't look like Uncanny Valley level, and that's kind of what I love about that. And also, I know this might be off topic, but I love that it played the Foo Fighters song "Walk" in the trailer. That kind of pleased my butthole a little bit, but yeah, the movie looks fantastic. Hopefully, it's another hit for Bobby Z, and hopefully Steve Carell.
I've really heard nobody call him that. I think you're the first one.
No, some people do, but
yeah, I know some celebrities that actually call him Bob Zemeckis.
Yeah, Kevin, but yeah. Hopefully the movie's good. Hopefully it's another hit for Robert Zemeckis, and Steve Carell. Let's hope, like, you already get, from what I've heard, you have 1 for 3 so far. Let's hope it's the second one. Let's go and turn to Mr. Tony.
So yes, Tony Claus is here again. I know, unfortunately, Tony Claus is not in here enough, but yes, but I will be here to talk about at least Welcome to Marwen, and it is, for those that don't know, it is my most anticipated movie for the rest of this year. I am very excited to see Robert Zemeckis and Steve Carell collaborate for the first time. It's always really cool, to see all these actors, like whether you want to talk about Denzel Washington collaborating with Robert Zemeckis for Flight, or Joseph Gordon-Levitt with The Wog, like just a lot of these talents that I really appreciate. So yeah, I'm very excited to see that one of my favorite directors of all time is collaborating with one of my personal favorite actors of all time. Steve Carell looks like he's going to be wonderful here. You guys have said this looks like it could be one hell of a year for him. Whether you want to talk about Beautiful Boy, which I did recently see, and that was a great film, and he was terrific in that film. And then he has Vice, and now this. So it's like, he's guaranteed to at least get some kind of nomination, which I'm very happy about. And even though this is based on a true story, it's very cool of Robert Zemeckis to take something that's so true, but turn to something that feels fresh, that feels original, like with his own style that he's bringing. And I think that's what really draws me into Welcome to Marwen, is just how fresh it looks. And like the way I've already said it before, whether you want to, I'm looking forward, especially seeing how it'll cut back and forth to like the live action sequence, cut back to the miniatures, and the fact that this man in real life actually coped with a very difficult time by making these miniatures and creating a whole nother world and using his own imagination, really. It's really wonderful. This is just a world that looks like will leave me like in absolute awe. It looks like it could be funny. It looks like it could be very inspirational, as these kind of stories normally are. And it looks like it could even be emotional too. Like, it looks like it has the right amount of emotion, right combination of all of that. And that's why personally I'm excited for it. And not only that, but I agree, the visual look of this too. Whether it be, I don't know if it's like, like Kevin said, we don't know if it's stop motion or Gary, we don't know if it's motion capture, but whatever with those sequences, it looks, I think, phenomenal. Like, it looks breathtaking. Like, it could be one of the most visually stunning movies of the year, honestly. Like, that's how impressive it looks. So yeah, I can't wait to see how they execute the story. The performances look really great, not just from Steve Carell, but from Leslie Mann, Isa Gonzalez, many talents in this film. And yeah, it's definitely my most anticipated of not only the rest of the year, but out of the Christmas releases as well. Thank you very much, Kevin, for bringing me on to talk about Aquaman and Welcome to Marwen. I know my appearance was not that big, but it's bigger than at least last year's December movie.
Yeah, you had one extra movie.
So there is
and then
that.
Next year you'll have 3.
Yes, that's what we'll do from now on. But yes, even though my appearance was very short, thank you for bringing me on. It was still nice to talk about at least 2 movies here. And of course, to be here with Mr. Film Fan and Gary for a little bit. So, of course, y'all, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and I have Tiger Power!
So if you guys are excited for Welcome to Marwen, it does come out on December 21st, along with the other films I already mentioned. But also on December 21st, we have a movie that I don't really think anyone knows nor cares about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, because I try to talk about every possible major release there is, and this is one of them, and that, of course, is Second Act.
I just wish we lived in a world where street smarts equal book smarts. Screw 'em. Who? The educated people in their fancy houses who name their kids after fruit and climb Kilimanjaro.
Somebody call for you. Something about a job interview?
Oh my God, Franklin and Clark?
Your resume interests me. Wharton Business School.
I'm sorry, what?
And, of course, you have got to see her Facebook page.
My Facebook page? Obama?
I gave you a completely new identity. You said you wanted to be fancy, so I just like Cinderella'd your ass.
Well, I got you in the door. But you got the job, baby. Who's the champ? Let's go. Who's the champ?
I'm the champ?
You're the champ. Yeah, come on.
It's not easy getting a job for a woman your age.
Watch me.
Holy shit, this film. Let me just say right off the bat that I'm sure most of you are like, what the hell is this movie? What is this? When is it coming out? Like, it's had basically no promotion whatsoever. I've seen a couple trailers here and there. There have been a couple times I've seen the trailer. But other than that, I've heard basically no buzz surrounding this movie. And let me tell you, that is for good reason, because this, honestly, out of all the films coming out this month, which this film is a pretty stellar month, to be honest, this looks like shit. I am not excited for this at all. Right off the bat, I am not a fan of Jennifer Lopez. The only thing that I've liked her in, like, TV-wise, besides her music, is American Idol. Yeah, that's how bad she is. Like, literally the only thing I've liked her in is American Idol. That's it. I think she was a good judge on that show. Acting-wise, though, she's terrible. And this definitely does not look like it's going to do her any better than some of her other films have. You guys already know Boy Next Door is one of my least favorites of this entire decade, and this film just looks so dumb. What? So she wants to get this job, so she has to pretend to have this whole, like, other life or whatever. Oh, we've totally haven't seen this plot before. The jokes are terrible. The one at the end where she is speaking in, like, I believe it was, like, Taiwanese or something like that, was honestly kind of offensive to watch. I really hated that a lot. There is a lot of cast members here like Vanessa Hudgens and Milo Ventimiglia, and it's like, what are you guys doing here? Why are you in this movie? Also, let me just say, the release date for this movie could not have come at a worser time. So, let me get this straight. The movie was originally supposed to come out on Thanksgiving weekend. You know, when all those movies just came out, like Ralph Breaks the Internet and Creed 2 and all of them. Okay, so I understand. So, originally, they were going to move this to December 14th. That was the date that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Mortal Engines, as well as, you know, The Mule was coming out. They were going to move it there. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. You know, there's not as many coming out. They want to see if the film has a fighting chance. And then you go and put it on the busiest week possible. So, what the hell was the point of even moving it? Because Thanksgiving week was just as busy as Christmas week is going to be. So, I really don't understand what changes here. Why would you put this on this release date? I really don't understand it at all. This movie looks terrible. I am absolutely dreading it. And it's a good thing nobody knows it exists, because God forbid, I really don't want this film to, I really don't want this to be like, you know, a regular thing. Jennifer Lopez, again, is not really a great actress at all, and I am absolutely dreading the hell out of this film. But if you are someone who's looking forward to second act, I guess check it out on December 21st. I don't really know anyone who cares about this movie, but it's coming out. Don't see it. There's way too many other things to see. I myself might not even see because there's way too much other stuff coming out on that day that is way more important. Like this next film, for example, which I am very interested in, and that is another foreign film, and back here to join me is Auburn Wanderer for his final appearance on this year, actually, and that, of course, is Cold War.
Co płakały we dnie w nocy, ojojoj. Czarne oczka, co płaczecie, że się spotkać nie możecie, że się spotkać nie możecie.
Cold War overall, you know, I say this a lot. There's a lot of foreign films that we talk about here, and I don't have them, you know, I'm interested in them, but they don't really, you know, do much for me in terms of the marketing. However, this is one of the rare ones that actually elevated the film for me. I thought the trailer for this film was phenomenal. I love the trailer for this film a lot. And what I really loved about is that it does so much with so little. Most of that trailer, you know, is just, you know, Joanna Kulig, she's just singing this song, and we're seeing a few images here and there. But I thought it was a very effective trailer, and I'm very excited to see how this film does turn out. I know it's about like this man and woman who meet in like post-war Poland, and I don't really know too much more than that. But from what I'm hearing, everyone that's seen this film has said it's one of the best of the year, and I definitely am getting that vibe from the trailer. It looks to be a very effective and probably very, very tragic film as well, because, you know, dealing with Poland and things like that. You know, I'd heard the two of them have very different backgrounds. I'm very excited. I'm not excited, but I'm very interested in seeing how that does turn out. I've heard Joanna Kulig gives one of the best performances of the entire year, and, you know, didn't hear any dialogue in the trailer, but she definitely does look like she is very good here. Don't really have too much else to say than that, but needless to say, it was a film that I was admittedly interested in, but after watching that trailer, it actually has me a lot more excited for it than I actually already was, and I think it just continues to show how stellar of a lineup it is for foreign films at the end of this year. I mean, November and December specifically really do look pretty packed in terms of foreign films. There's a lot of great foreign films coming out, and this is definitely one of them that I really hope doesn't disappoint me. I know this is coming on VOD, but it's also played in my theater a couple times, so I don't know if it's going to come to my theater. If I can see it in theaters, then great. I've actually never seen a foreign film in theaters before, so this would definitely be a really great first one, but most likely it will be on VOD, so we'll see how that goes, but I definitely do want to see it as soon as possible. And again, another one of my most anticipated of the month for sure.
Yes, I think that this film, I haven't seen the trailer, so just to keep that in mind. But I think this film sounds great. You know, the whole premise of, you know, these like two people who like have started a relationship with different backgrounds, and they really like should be together, but it's gonna like kind of like study that like relationship, and it's during like, you know, in the middle, I believe it's in the middle of the Cold War or something like that.
No, it's at post Cold War.
Okay, well, it's something to do with the Cold War. And
post-war Poland, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that's very, you know, interesting, like spin like a romance, and yeah, and I love romance films, and I think that this film sounds very unique for a romance film. And I'm just very, very interested in seeing this film. It's also, you know, a foreign film, and, you know, I like my foreign films. And also, one thing that Kevin didn't touch upon, but the cinematography for this goddamn film.
Oh, yeah.
It looks, like, from the images I've seen, looks beautiful, like the black and white cinematography. Oh, it looks gorgeous.
Yep.
Yeah, like Kevin said, there's a lot of hype around this film, so that got me excited. And yeah, that's something I'm going to watch day one when it comes out on VOD. Yeah, so definitely very excited about this, and hopefully it lives up to the hype.
So if you guys are looking forward to Cold War, it does come out on December 21st. I actually do think it's going to get a pretty big release in theaters, because like I said, I did see that trailer on theaters, like, actually a lot. So hopefully that one turns out well. But also coming out on December 21st, we have the final Netflix movie that we're going to be talking about. We've actually discussed quite a few in this, and this one hopefully is a really great way to end things off. And for his final appearance, Jackson Fulcher will be joining me for this one to talk about Bird Box.
How have you been feeling? Have you been sleeping any better?
Oh, rough. Then again, I never slept well before this condition.
Condition? It's called pregnancy. It's okay to say it out loud. Something's happened.
Can you just please drive?
Did you see something?
Bird Box overall, this is another Netflix film that I'm very interested in. Once I saw all I really saw before this was like the cast list and things like that, and that alone had me really excited. I mean, Sandra Bullock, Sarah Paulson, John Malkovich, Trevante Rhodes, Jackie Weaver, just a really stellar cast here overall. But then hearing the premise and what this movie is going to be, from what I understand, this is kind of going to be in the same style of A Quiet Place, except instead of, trying to eliminate sound, they're eliminating the use of, seeing it, and they're eliminating, seeing what's happening visually. And I think that's a really cool idea overall. It is a post-apocalyptic film, but it's one where like everyone's blindfolded, and that just sounds really intriguing to me. It sounds like it's going to be a very suspenseful film. Just thinking about being directed through the woods and you're blindfolded and you don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's a terrifying concept to think about, and I really hope this film turns out to be something great. The other thing that gives me a lot of faith here is that the director of this film, Suzanne Burr, actually is the writer of that's the writer of this film. Let me fix that real quick. All right, wait. Suzanne Burr did Arrival, right?
No, that's Eric Hazer.
Okay, there we go.
Suzanne Burr directed what's it called? With Serena with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer.
Oh God, I fucking hated that. Okay. The thing that does have me concerned is that is from the director of that really stupid movie with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence that nobody saw called Serena. But the writer is what has me really intrigued, because it's actually from the writer of Arrival, and you guys know how much I love that film. So there's a lot of things here that has me very interested in this film. I think this could be another really great film for Netflix. And knowing that this is their last film this year, I'm hoping that this closes out well. They have a lot of great, they put out a lot of great stuff in the past several months, and I'm hoping that the year goes out for them with a bang, and I'm hoping that this film turns out to be as good as I think it can be.
Yeah, all of a sudden one day I get a YouTube notification, and it's from my good pals over at Netflix, my fellas at Netflix, right?
Oh yes,
it's called Bird Box, and I say Sandra Bullock on the thumbnail, and I was like, what is this film? And then I watched the trailer, and I was like, because it's based off a book with this premise about like there's this it was an alien invasion, right? I almost forgot. Is it an alien invasion?
I didn't watch the trailer, so I couldn't tell you.
God, Kevin. Okay.
I know it's a dystopia. I just don't know why.
Okay, hold on. 1 second.
Very well prepared.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So it's what was really interesting about this premise is that there's this evil out there that's on Earth, but you can't see it because if you look at it, you die, like Sarah Paulson in the trailer, which they spoiled obviously, which kind of fucking sucks. But yeah, Sarah Paulson.
I didn't know that.
Sarah Paulson saw it and then crashed the car that she was in, and she's fucking dead.
What the fuck?
Which leads me to another thing. I'm surprised that there's so many of these cast members in a film like this. It's based off a book, and it's written by what's his name, Eric Hazer, who, as you said, wrote Arrival, but he's also written some other films that I'd like to mention real quick. Nightmare on Elm Street 2010.
Oh gosh.
Final Destination 5.
Okay, I like that one.
The Thing 2011, which I liked. Hours with Paul Walker. Lights Out, which was solid. Arrival, as you said. And then our favorite movie of the year, Kevin, Extinction. Which is another Netflix film. So this guy is kind of fluctuated from fantastic to pure shit to just yeah, it's all right.
That's Extinction.
So this movie can really go either way. It has a neat idea for sure, and it's got a great cast like Lil Rel Howery, Trevante Rhodes, John Malkovich, Sandra Bullock, Sarah Paulson, all these people. It's like, oh my god, like I'm surprised this many people sign on for this project. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the film Serena or Suzanne Beer.
Don't watch that. Please don't watch it. It is one of the most. I can confidently say that it is one of the most unsatisfying films I think you'll ever watch.
Okay, well I won't watch it then. But so really, I'm looking at this as a film that has an interesting premise. It's got a great cast going for it, and it looks like so far the directing is pretty good, but it can really go either way. I think like the way it is, it's like you have a script writer who's kind of I think it really depends on what he's writing, and the director who I don't know anything about, but it looks like she's doing a solid job, but who really knows, because you have a premise like this, it's very easy to just break it, just fucking trip over yourself and drop it like, oh shit, so I'm hoping for the best, but it's Netflix, so I give it a 0 out of 10.
All right, so we're done.
Fuck Netflix.
So if you guys looking forward to Bird Box, it does come out on December 21st on Netflix. Hopefully, like I said, this has been a very up and down year for Netflix, but recently there's been a lot more hits than misses, and I'm hoping that this one continues to be on that trajectory. So now we go to Christmas Day, where there actually are 2 releases coming out on this day, and this first one is one that I was admittedly looking forward to, and you guys will understand why I say that in a little bit. But joining me one last time is Auburn Wanderer for his final appearance, but also joining me, not his last time, that's coming up soon though, is Film Fan 0599 to talk about Holmes and Watson.
Sherlock Holmes. His methods are ingenious.
Right there.
He's a master of disguise.
What have you done with Sherlock? Why, Watson? I never left. Amazing.
And his mind is brilliant.
Angle of approach. Compensate for warping floor. Termination of mosquito.
Well done, Holmes.
Oh my god! Watson, stop panicking!
So, Holmes and Watson, this one I'm really disappointed by, honestly, because I was really looking forward to this initially. I really love Step Brothers a lot. I think that's such a fun, stupid, yes, but it is a very fun comedy and I think Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly just work so well together there. Their chemistry was rock solid, and I was very excited to see how they would replicate that in this film, and from what I'm seeing here, this just looks incredibly bland. I mean, there's really nothing in this trailer that made me laugh, to be honest. The only thing that, I like, I love the story of Sherlock Holmes. I'll take a Sherlock Holmes film any day, but this just looks really bland. It doesn't look like they're really doing anything that creative with it. The comedy is really not doing it for me at all, like I said. The chemistry between John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell doesn't even really seem like it's there here. Everything about this just feels really forced to me. It feels like, oh yeah, we're going to get the 2 of them back because Step Brothers was a huge film. We're not going to do Step Brothers 2, but we'll do the next best thing and we'll do this film, and it really does not look like it's going to deliver, unfortunately. Again, this looks like the father figures of the year. Now, admittedly, I didn't hate father figures. I actually did end up enjoying father figures a little bit more than way more than I was expecting, actually. So maybe this could surprise me, but there's always that one comedy at the end of the year that ends up being really bad, and I would not be surprised if this is that film because it really does not look that great at all, and especially the fact that it's now coming out against like Vice and things like that. It's no longer coming out on December 21st. It's now coming out like the same time as Vice. That just tells me that there really is not a lot of confidence in this film at all, and I really am not excited for it. It sucks because, like I said, I really do like these 2, but this really does not look good at all.
So, Holmes and Watson. I was looking forward to this film when it was announced. I have not seen Step Brothers, but I know how much of like an iconic, comedy that is.
Yep.
And a lot of people really like it. It's like a cult classic now, basically. And because of that, and it's the same director, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, right?
Yes. So like, they're coming back and, it's, about, Sherlock Holmes and stuff and like, and, Watson, it just sounds like, like it could be funny and a fun time or whatever. And I saw the trailer in front of night school and, it looks really bad, to be honest. It does not look very funny. It looks like it's going to be like a very like dry looking comedy. Like it looks like they seem very passionate about it and it seems to like putting some like there's energy with it, but it just doesn't look like the execution of like the jokes does not look funny. And to me, I feel like they're trying to like balance like the story and the comedy, and it does not look like it's working all that well, to be honest. And it's disappointing. Obviously we haven't seen the movie. I'm not gonna like assume it's terrible, but from the way the trailer looks, and I like barely watch trailers, so this is one of the rare ones I've seen, and I it just does not look very good, to be honest. I'm hoping it does surprise me though, because this could turn out very well, but it does not look like it's going to. But who knows? It looks like they're giving it all, but it just looks like the execution really isn't there. So yeah.
Real quick. It's actually not from the same director.
Okay.
Director of that is doing Vice, coincidentally, which is also coming out the same day. It's from the director of Get Hard.
Oh, okay. Well, that's that. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm very much looking forward to this. I will admit the trailer wasn't the best. I do think it could have been better, but I still have some hope for this movie because there are a lot of things that I do think this could go right for it. Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly have extremely great chemistry with each other. It shows in Step Brothers, which is a very funny film in my opinion. Definitely has some of the funniest humor I've seen put to film, to be honest. It's really stupid, but I really love it, to be honest. And hopefully they can bring that same type of energy to Holmes and Watson, because I really want them to, because I know these two can do it very well and have great chemistry with each other. But the trailer was kind of just it really wasn't that great. Only like one or two moments like really made me laugh, to be honest.
Yep.
But hopefully the movie is better. I do hope that the movie is really good. I do have faith in it because, like I said, the two do have great chemistry with each other. And Will Ferrell is my personal favorite comedic actor of all time. So hopefully this is very good. And also, Braun Strowman, the monster among men, is in this too. So hopefully he has a good role in this as well. So, very much looking forward to it. So hopefully it turns out to be good.
Yes, thank you for having me on, Kevin. I really enjoy talking about all the films. It's crazy that the year is basically over now.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting year. Thank you for having me on as usual. And you guys can always check me out on my YouTube channel. Planning on coming back very soon. I haven't been doing videos just because I just wasn't really happy with the quality of my videos. So but they're gonna improve. So yeah.
So if you guys are excited for Holmes and Watson, it does come out on December 25th. Hopefully this turns out to be a really good comedy for Ferrell and John C. Reilly. However, the big one coming out that day is one that I am very excited for, and joining me one last time, we have Jackson Fulcher, MC Deadpool, Film Fan 0599, and Andrew Hayes, not making his final appearance that is coming up soon, but it is MC Deadpool and Jackson Fulcher, and of course, Film Fan 0599's last appearance to talk about one of my most anticipated of the entire month, and that, of course, is Adam McKay's new film, Vice.
Overseeing bureaucracy, military, energy, and foreign policy. Yeah, right. I like that.
So, Vice overall, I am hyped for this movie. This is one that I've known about for a while, ever since it was called, I believe it was called Backseat before, and now it's been changed to Vice. And once that trailer dropped especially, I became so hyped for this one. I mean, right off the bat, Christian Bale, holy shit. I mean, talk about method acting right there. If you had not told me that was Christian Bale, I would definitely not have noticed. It is so unrecognizable. He gained so much weight for this role, and his dedication there, I think, is just fantastic. I can't wait to see what he does in this film overall. I think he alone is going to be probably one of the best things about this movie. But then when you factor in the story, this is a story that I think very much does need to be told right now. Dick Cheney was someone who was very corrupt, and he did a lot of really shady things, and he still is around today because of it. And he's a man who literally doesn't have a heart. Yes, he literally has like an artificial heart today. So that just kind of tells you how dastardly and how evil of a person he really is. And I'm very excited to get into seeing how all of that went down. Sam Rockwell looks great here. Amy Adams. A lot of people are saying that Amy Adams might actually get like her first Oscar for this film, and that would be awesome if she did. I haven't really we don't really see much of her in the trailer, but I'm sure she's going to be great. Steve Carell, once again, I mean, between this and Welcome to Marwen, I legit don't know what he's going to be nominated for. This could be another one. We'll have to see. He might end up sneaking in there. But you also have Allison Pill. You have Lily Ray, but then my favorite and yours, Tyler Perry, who this is the kind of thing you need to be doing. This is the kind of shit you need to be doing, Tyler Perry, not whatever the hell the fucking Medea movies are. Stay away from that. This is the kind of stuff they need to be doing. I don't know what role he's going to play, but hopefully it's as good as his role in Gone Girl, because I think it could be something really great. Also, I will say, just from the trailer alone, this already is some of the best cinematography of the entire year. The set designs look really great. I'm very excited to see how this film does turn out. Adam McKay, I've seen like 20 minutes of The Big Short. I never ended up finishing it for some reason, but I've heard really great things about the movie, and I think this is going to be another really great film from him. So I'm very excited for this one. For sure, my most anticipated of the month, and I'm hoping it lives up to the hype.
Vice looks fantastic. Christian Bale is a complete fucking madman, and dedicated to his craft, and I appreciate that. He looks perfect as Dick Cheney, and like you said, Dick Cheney was a very corrupt person, and we're pretty much going to see that. I love the trailer a lot. The trailer is like one of my favorite trailers of the entire year, to be honest. I love how they mixed the Man by the Killers in the trailer. I liked how they mixed that with that
was
song.
great.
Yeah, I thought that just played perfectly. And also, Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush is some of the most brilliant casting I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, yes to that, okay? And honestly, this movie looks great. Looks like it's gonna have some great performances in it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Christian Bale got a nomination for this. I know it's pretty stacked right now, but like I'm hearing a lot about him and stuff like that, and I cannot wait. So yeah, this looks great, and hopefully it's another great movie from this month.
Gary.
So I just saw the trailer for Vice, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, that bombed. But
there's so much
yeah,
shit I have to cut out of this because of you. I hope you know that.
Hey, all right, the movie looks phenomenal. All right, Adam McKay is a director I've only known at first as the guy he directs all the Will Ferrell movies, and then after I saw like The Big Short, it was like, oh shit, this is kind of a new side to him. And then when I watched this trailer, I was like, Jesus Christ, Adam McKay I think he might have another knock right out of the park with this one. Christian Bale, the guy is a fucking chameleon. I mean, the guy can change. Like, he can be, like, really fucking skinny. Like, you know that movie, The Machinist?
Yeah.
Where he, like, you see all the stuff he does to his body. He's like, Jesus Christ, like, how did he survive that? And, of course, with, the Dark Knight movies and, with movies like The Fighter and American Hustle, like, the guy is the master of either losing weight or gaining weight. That is how much he is committed for a role. And this movie is no different. Like, he gained like so much weight for this role, and he looks like this is gonna be one of his best performances in a whole list of great performances from the guy. I mean, like, from whatever, I don't know that much about Dick Cheney except like the only thing I heard of him is like fucking some jokes on Family Guy, and also the fucking Eminem song Without Me. So, but But yeah, everybody else looks great. Amy Adams, Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell as the original American Idiot, Mr. George W. Bush, looks great. Like you guys said, like the cinematography from the trailer alone already is like, yeah, this I would not be shocked if this get nominated for best cinematography at the Oscars. And honestly, it does look like an interesting character study for about Dick Cheney, and I'm interested to see how the movie is going to turn out. And so far, I'm hearing a lot of great buzz, so can't wait to check it out. So, yeah.
All right.
Who's the man? Who's the man? This trailer is one of the
I'm the
best.
man.
This trailer is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Earlier this year, I guess you could say my favorite trailer this year is the Bad Times at the El Royale one. I love it so much. But Vice is a close second. It's so phenomenal. Like at first, I was just like, "Oh, Adam McKay is making another movie." You know, I liked his last Oscar effort, The Big Short. Like I liked it a lot. I wouldn't say it's amazing or anything, but I really enjoyed it. And this I was interested to see what else he could do. And this looks like he's actually maybe stepping up as a director, which I'm all for because this movie looks fantastic. The dialogue, the acting, and the cinematography, it all looks just so good right now. And Christian Bale, some of you may say you think he'll get nominated. I think he's definitely getting nominated, like for sure. Like I don't think there's any question about that. Like Christian Bale is one of the finest actors out there because, as you all mentioned, he can change his appearance so well and play all these characters so well. And Dick Cheney just seems like he was made for it, and that's fantastic if you ask me. And Steve Carell coming back working with Adam McKay, that's great. Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush, he looks fucking hysterical. I can't wait to see him and Dick Cheney interact because from that one teaser, it seems like they have a really interesting, funny relationship that I can't wait for them to explore. And Dick Cheney, yeah, he's ripe for story material. So I can't wait for them to delve into that. I can't wait to see what they show, if they change anything or if they're going to keep it all kind of intact, you know? I'm really pumped for this. Like that trailer got me hyped. The day it was released, I was like, all right, let's just see what it is. And then afterwards I was like, all right, rewind because I gotta watch this trailer again. You know, this movie is one of my most anticipated for the rest of this year. It looks like it's going to be right up my alley. I can't wait for it. I love you, Christian Bale. Please marry me.
Listen, guys, I'm telling y'all right now, Christian Bale's winning the fucking Oscar this year. Mark my fucking words.
Think so?
That's how incredible he fucking looks.
Very high prediction.
Yeah, and from all the buzz and whatnot,
Possible.
I truly do believe, and I haven't seen the movie. I am very excited to see this movie, but I truly think that he's going to win. I really don't see anybody else winning this year other than Christian Bale. I could be wrong, but that's just what I think. But I've been super excited for this movie ever since I first saw the trailer. I think it's one of the best trailers of the year. I don't know if it's quite my favorite, but it's definitely up there. I think, Christian Bale was he was put on this earth to be Dick Cheney in a movie. And Sam Rockwell also looks incredible. You know, you got my boy Steve Carell, probably going to give a good performance as well. And from what I hear, Amy Adams is also going to probably get nominated.
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to her. And, just Christian Bale, man. He obviously has the appearance down, but, like, the mannerisms, he, like, perfected the mannerisms, which is amazing, and that's a big part of why I think he's going to win. And this is probably my most anticipated for the rest of the year. I can't wait for it. The trailer, like I said, is amazing, and this movie, I'm probably going to love it.
Thank you once again, Kevin, for having me on for the movie preview. This was a lot of fun. Glad I got to talk about the movies I'm really excited for this month. And hopefully December is really great. I am Film Fan 0599. You can find me on my channel. I do all sorts of things on my channel. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. Even though I kind of act like the unfunny asshole of the group, which I am. I will admit that. But yeah, it's great talking about some of the movies on here. And to my boy Triples, to Caden, to Tony, to Mr. Fulcher, to Andrew, and to you, Mr. Frankie Muniz, thank you for letting me be on here. And also, Scary Movie 2 is not a good movie. Okay, bye.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Kevin. It was really great to do a couple of these this year. This one I think is much better than the fucking July movie preview. So that's good.
Okay, you know what?
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's better than some other ones that we're not going to mention because they didn't happen.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Fuck you.
But thanks for having me on. Enjoyed talking about the movies that I wanted to talk about, and I hope to be on more in the future of 2029. That is next year, right? 2029.
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys are excited for Vice, it does come out on December 25th. Definitely going to be a big awards film. One of the most essential watches for me for the end of the year, and hoping it doesn't disappoint. But also coming out on December 25th, we have a film that really is not getting a lot of buzz, but it is one that I am very much excited for, and that is On the Basis of Sex.
I want to be a lawyer. I want to represent clients in pursuit of justice.
So they're going to give you a corner office?
I wasn't what they were looking for. One said women are too emotional to be lawyers. Another told me a woman graduating top of her class must be a real ball buster. I worked hard. I did everything I was supposed to, and I excelled.
Martin Ginsburg will be signing all of our checks someday.
You're a smart girl, Ruthie. You married a star.
If the law differentiates on the basis of sex, then how will women and men ever become equals? I don't read tax court cases.
Read this one.
So, On the Basis of Sex overall, I'm really interested in this movie. This, of course, is about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which I kind of find it interesting that we just got the documentary about her, which was, very acclaimed, which I still do need to see, but I've heard many people say that's like one of the best of the year. So the fact that we're getting a biopic about her in the same day, I just find that, not the same day, but the same year, I just find that to be a little bit weird overall. That being said, though, I'm still very excited for this film. I think this is a film that, sure, it could end up being very formulaic, but Felicity Jones looks like she is going to kill it here. I really am loving her performance as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It really seems like she has a good understanding of this character, and sure, you could say the movie's just there kind of to give her an Oscar, and that may very well be true. I do still think this looks like a really good courtroom drama, showing how women were very much kind of segregated, and they were a group that wasn't really expected. There wasn't really much expected out of them. They weren't really someone who were in this type of job before. Being in the Supreme Court, no, that's something that men would do. Why would women want to do it? And I'm interested in seeing how that whole sort of conflict does develop here. The debate between them, I think, is going to be really great. This film also has a phenomenal cast. Armie Hammer, my boy Justin Theroux, of course, once again, just killing it. Kathy Bates, Sam Waterston, Jack Rayner, Kaylee Spaney, as well as in here. Really phenomenal cast overall. I think this is going to be a really great film. I'm definitely really excited for it. And if you guys are looking forward to On the Basis of Sex, it does come out on December 25th. Not entirely sure when the wide release date is. I think this might be one of the January ones that you might have to wait for, but still very interested in seeing how this one does turn out. And then also coming out on December 25th, we have, for his final appearance on the show, Andrew Hayes here with me to talk about another film that I'm very interested in, and that, of course, is Destroyer.
Who is it?
No ID, no idea.
I know you're
story.
Placing our agent undercover should look right enough next to our guy.
If we do this, we accept the consequences. Do you love me?
You know I do.
So, Destroyer overall, this is yet another one that, like, I didn't really know a ton about. I wasn't really all that excited for it. And then the trailer came out, and I am honestly pumped for this movie. I mean, everything about this film looks really riveting. The story, sure, we have seen it done before, where it's this, she's a cop, and she has a really traumatic past, and she kind of has to face it. I mean, we just saw that in Sharp Objects, but the difference between this and Sharp Objects is that this film looks like, Sharp Objects was more of her trying to solve like this murder or whatever. In this one, she has to, take down this gang that I guess really was very instrumental in her traumatic childhood. And this just looks incredible. Nicole Kidman in particular looks like she is going to give the performance of her career. I know recently she's been giving a lot of great roles, between Big Little Lies and The Killing of a Sacred Deer, but they've all been supporting. This is finally the time for her to be front and center and finally give that great performance that I think she really does need. I think that she's a shoo-in to get nominated for this film. I don't think she's going to win, but I'm already hearing tons of Oscar buzz surrounded about her. So that alone has me intrigued. But then when you couple that with the story, which, like I said, looks so investing, and I will also say right now, the cinematography in this film, just from the trailer, looks like some of the best of the entire year. I mean, it looks like we're really going to get into her head. It's very psychedelic, and I am very excited to see how this film does turn out. I know it doesn't go wide until the end of January, but it is definitely one that I am very much hyped for. It's one that I will definitely see before the year ends, and definitely another one of my most anticipated for this month for sure.
I have to completely agree with you, Kevin. This movie looks absolutely incredible, and I think a lot of it has to do with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer and I was immediately blown away by not only her performance alone in the trailer, but how she looked. Like the thing I remember seeing in the trailer is, she disappears in this role. Like this isn't Nicole Kidman, and I couldn't recognize her from the trailer alone. So I think that says a lot about not only her performance, but the movie as a whole. I expect this to get an Oscar nomination as well because of what I'm hearing and just how incredible she looks in the trailer. Probably going to get some other Oscar nominations.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But
might be a couple supporting ones in there.
Yeah, maybe something for, cinematography, like you said, maybe makeup. The makeup looks incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that didn't look like Nicole Kidman, and I don't know a ton about this movie, but I know that I am very much looking forward to this movie because of how great Nicole Kidman looked in this movie, and I want to see this movie for her performance alone. All right, so thank you for having me on, Kevin. I very much enjoyed doing this as always. I enjoyed talking about all the movies that I talked about, Destroyer, Vice, and even Mortal Engines. But thanks for having me on, man.
So if you guys are interested in Destroyer, it does come out on December 25th. Now, it's not going to get a wide release until, I believe, January 7th, around that time. I think it might be... It's in January. I don't know the exact release date, but it's going to be in January. So, unfortunately, some of you might not get to see it till then, but it is one that I am definitely very excited for and hoping it turns out to be really great. Alright guys, so this is it, the final film that we're going to be talking about in the movie preview for 2018, and that last film is a film that a lot of people don't know about, but one that I am definitely very excited for, and that of course is Stan and Ollie. So, Stan and Ollie overall, this is a film that I'm really surprised isn't getting more attention. I mean, it has John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan, and they're playing the parts of Laurel and Hardy, arguably one of the most famous comedic duos of all time. But the story itself, aside from that, looks really engrossing as well. I mean, one of the things I really loved about this trailer is how attached they are to Laurel and Hardy and how they can't really shake away from those characters and the detriment that this has on their friendship overall, especially the line where Steve Coogan, is telling John C. Reilly's character that, like, oh, you just really love Laurel and Hardy, you don't really care about me. There's some really effective stuff going on here. John C. Reilly looks like he's really going to disappear in this role. Like, sure, he still does look a bit like John C. Reilly, but he definitely looks like he is on another level here. This has been a really extraordinary year from him between this, The Sisters Brothers, and Ralph Breaks the Internet, and I think this is the one that might possibly get him that Best Actor nomination. We'll have to see, but Steve Coogan might possibly get in there as well. Just everything about this film just looks really fascinating overall. I don't know a ton about this duo aside from the Laurel and Hardy act, which I haven't really seen a lot of either. I've seen a couple stuff. I've seen a couple, like, skits from them here and there. I've obviously seen the classic one with the piano and things like that, but other than that, I haven't really seen a ton of their comedy act, but not only get that, but also getting into the mind of, like, what this did to them in their personal lives. That's something else that I really don't know, and I'm hoping this film gives a very good portrayal of that. I think this is going to be a very powerful film overall. Really hoping this turns out to be something great, and if you are looking forward to Stan and Ollie, it does come out on December 28th. Hoping this could be a really great film. And with that, guys, we are done here. This is the end of 2018. I honestly can't believe it. This year, as usual, has very much flown by. I just really want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch all these movie previews. I know that they're very long a lot of the time, but I think this has been a very immensely successful year overall. I want to thank each and every single one of my guests. Of course, Auburn Wanderer, Jackson Fulcher, MC Deadpool, Andrew Hayes, 22 Tiger Dude, and of course the special thanks to the ones who unfortunately couldn't make it for this one. Samuel One World, Diego Coya, and Haley McKay. All you guys are awesome. I have loved getting to collab with you. I have loved getting to discuss all these movies with you. You all have such interesting and fun personalities, and I am very excited to see where this does take us next year. This has been the biggest year for movie previews yet. I've had the most guests that I've ever had, and again, I really want to thank all of you guys for doing this. I know, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come on here and talk about movies with me for like 3 or 4 hours. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that I think I very often take for granted, but at the end of the day, I really love all you guys, and I am very thankful for all of you being here, But overall, guys, that's really it for this movie preview. Of course, comment down below. Let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to the most in December. What did you think of this different format overall? This is something that, I'm testing it out, but I'm probably going to end up sticking with it from now on. Very excited to see how this turns out. Also, if you guys are watching the premiere of this, I just wanted you guys to know that this is something that is going to last, that this is going to be a mainstay on my channel. There's no longer going to be like a public live stream, and then I will upload the edited version. That's not going to happen anymore now that there is this function. I'm just not going to be doing that anymore. But either way, guys, thank you guys for watching. But either way, guys, once again, thank you all for watching. Very successful year overall. This has been a really great year for movies, and I'm hoping that 2019 is another really stellar year overall. Let me know what movies you guys are looking forward to the most in December. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, I thank each and every one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie previews this year, and I'm very excited to see where 2019 can take us. There may be some new guests. We'll have to see. I really love the people I have right now, and I'm not entirely sure if I want to get anyone new, but I'm always open to new options, I'm always open to new ideas, but we'll have to see the way things do turn out. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.
Moving on.